Oh shit.
20th Century Fox logo.
We back. When was the last time we recorded?
The last
3
time we
weeks
recorded,
ago?
I think, was right before Final Reckoning, and I remember because, well, the official
Uh,
release of Final Reckoning.
yeah.
It's been a
The
minute. Good to be back.
20 it was like the 19th, 20th or 21st, I think.
I want to say it was around there because I think that was whenever it was releasing finally. And we did take a small break because, first off, you went to Texas.
I was in Texas
We
rattling
went to
some cattle.
Texas, got to hang out with Baja and our boy Tony.
That I did. Hanging with the peeps.
One thing I noticed right off the bat about this movie that I notice every time for some reason is that watching Alien and watching this one is in a different aspect ratio.
It is. Do you
It's
have
in
the
a
4K?
I don't have the 4K, and you know what's crazy is I was right next to the Barnes and Noble at my work, and they have a 4K there, and I walk in there
It's
all the
not
time, and I think about getting it.
it's not that bad of a transfer. Like I know there's some
You
parts
know,
where you're like,
I don't think it would be bad regardless, but the big thing is just for me, the only 4Ks that I got from that drop, the Cameron drop, was the True Lies one and the Abyss.
mm,
The Abyss one looks great. I remember that.
I have all three
Um,
of them.
True Lies, I own it, but I haven't seen it since I got it. And it's the big thing is just I saw the pictures online. I'm scared to go back and watch it, but at the end of the day, it's the only way that you
Yeah.
can really watch it in the best quality. So it's kind of a
Yeah,
double-edged sword there.
I think with a lot of I've noticed in the past couple years with physical media collectors is like they're so picky when it comes to like 4Ks. When it has like the slightest little thing that's like wrong with it, it's like, dude, it's like one shot. Like, I mean,
I think it'd be different if it was like one shot, but with that one, it was like I was seeing like every other shot online that was just pictures like that it was driving me nuts. I have not listened to or I've not watched this version, the theatrical cut. I think since I watched the movie for the first time, and this was in like 2012, 2013.
hmm
After I watched the theatrical cut, I remember buying these and the extended cut, the special editions cut that's from the 90s. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think, or 20.
I think it's
How long is this?
235 or something.
It's longer. I want to say it's like 230 or 240, but it is longer, and I have not watched the regular cut since. Um,
I just watched I watched the I guess it's a director's cut. They call it special edition, but I
yeah, it's
assume
the
it's
same thing with
Cameron's.
the Ridley Scott one for the first one too.
Yeah. I watched that like a couple days ago, so we'll see if I can remember what's not in it. What's in it. I feel like it's just a lot of the
So
plot.
let me ask you, do you have the that like quadrilogy set for the Alien series on Blu-ray?
I do.
Do you have the that cut of Alien 3, the like it's like a work print cut or it's like an editor's
It's
cut or
the I think
something?
they call it the assembly cut, I think.
Assembly cut is what they
I
call
think
it.
it's
Yes,
on
it's
there,
like
right?
the VFX don't look as good, and then like there's just a lot of stuff that's edited in terms of like story. But I think it's a better movie. It's not like a huge difference, but it is a better
Yeah.
movie.
It makes the story
Um,
make more sense.
I have always found it like rather interesting whenever you see like an assembly cut or an editor's cut on a movie because it's like this is a version that not many people are gonna see unless you like really want to see that version. Spider-Man 3,
Hmm.
funny enough, has like an editor's cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not much different.
The only thing, like, because in this movie ends, obviously they spoiler there, whatever. It's just Ripley and the kid, and then what's his face? They just go to sleep, and then in the opening of three, they just die. Like it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like you're like,
Well,
oh,
you know
they
about
crashed and they
Alien
died.
3? Alien 3 had like a teaser where like they had a teaser for it where they said that like Alien 3, the alien comes to Earth, and that was the teaser. And then the movie
Mm,
had nothing to do with Earth. Like
yeah, like
there was just so much
just
working against that movie, and I mean David
so much studio
Fincher.
interference. And then in
Yeah, it's
Resurrection,
unfortunate.
they're like,
But
what if she
hey, I
played
mean,
basketball?
Resurrection's crazy. I'm glad that we're only okay. So I think we've already done. We didn't do Alien. I think we did something else, but we were talking about like going through some of the like other. Oh, this is a clean shot too of her like in the with the Earth like transition.
Hmm.
But I think we talked about doing like some Ridley Scott movies, and we were talking about like all the Alien movies in general. And I think we were saying that like Resurrection's one that we just don't want to watch again.
Yeah, unless I'm like rewatching it because I have it in the set, but like if I didn't have
I'm
that
the same
set,
way. Like when
I probably
Romulus came
wouldn't own
out, I
it.
rewatched all of them, and Resurrection was the hardest one to get through.
And then I watched the Alien vs Predators, and I'm just like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I rewatched those too.
I'm good on these. Like,
But yeah, I mean, funny enough, I feel like we're talking more about Alien, and it's like we're doing a Cameron episode, which crazy. We did the Terminator episode like what was it, February or March?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, we're back with Cameron. Picking
When
up on the
it
director's
was,
series.
it was probably end of March or early April, maybe,
It
because
might
that's
have
when we
been. I
were
might be
like,
stretching it.
that was right the last thing we did before we did seven Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, which I had the bright idea of saying it live on the podcast, saying we should do all seven Mission Impossible movies and then just cramming all of them in like 2 weeks. And we did it. We did it. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, I was tired after that. I'm not gonna
It was
lie.
pretty exhausting. Like that was one of those things where we were rewatching them and then just watching the movies immediately again after just to talk about them. But hey, we do it for the
Yeah.
view. We do it for the listeners.
I think like I think when we got to seven, like halfway through, you could tell all three of us were just like not saying much
To
anymore.
be fair, I mean,
I was
we
like,
did
dude, I'm
kind of
just
pull
tired.
seven apart. We really pulled it apart. If you go back and listen to that episode, we were really
You were ripping
we were
it.
cooking that movie. Yes, like we acknowledge like we did they did as good as they could, but we were cooking that movie for a minute.
I know. I like I remember the ending. We were like kind of you were going in on it.
Cameron though, I mean, I love Cameron, man. Whenever
Jimmy C.
yeah, JC man. We got Alien, we got True Lies, The Abyss,
What was
the
it? I
Titanic
was listening
episode,
to
man.
an interview. Was it with I think it was Sigourney Weaver. I think she was on that John Mulaney like live show on Netflix.
Yeah.
She was like a guest and he was talking about like James Cameron with her. And he was like, has anyone ever yelled at like has James Cameron ever yelled at people on set? And he's like, she was like, well, I mean, yeah, like any other director. But then, like, I think she said that someone tried to like change some of the dialogue. And she said that James Cameron just turned to him and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you write the fucking script?"
You ever heard that thing about him like drilling phones into walls?
Yeah, I think it was. I think
It
was it because of
was for
aliens?
Avatar.
It was for
I
Avatar.
think it was for Avatar. He was drilling phones into walls because I think he said that phones would go off and like it would ruin the shot. So he would grab their phone and drill it to a wall.
And that was like flip phone at that time.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I love him. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I'd say like you can't dog on the guy, especially when he's making movies like this. It's kind of the same thing with like Christopher Nolan saying that he doesn't want chairs on sets.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's only
Like, hey
made
man, you
one
make a movie like
suit.
that, you let me know when you're gonna be bitching about not being able to sit down.
Avatar: Fire and Ash will be his 10th film, and that is including Piranha 2: The Spawning.
We're not talking about Piranha 2, so sorry if you're a listener and you're waiting for us to do it, but we're not doing Piranha 2.
I have never
Um,
seen it. Have you seen it? I've never seen it.
I have. It's not amazing,
It's
but
not good. It's not great, Bob.
I'm excited. Nah, it's not. It's not bad. It's not good. It's got some moments where you kind of see some moments of like Cameron in there. But other than that, it's like it just doesn't feel like it's even him.
Hmm.
Um, but that being said, I mean the Titanic episode, I think I'm probably the most excited for, just to really just dive in. You know,
Same. I think I said it before that I think Titanic's his best film
I think
overall.
Titanic is probably his best film.
From a
I
technical
would have to
standpoint,
say,
probably it's Titanic.
I think
I don't know.
Avatar might be my favorite of his.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's tough, man, because Titanic is really damn good.
especially like because everyone like dogs on the love story aspect of it, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But if you get to the second half of that movie when that ship is
It
sinking,
picks
like
up, bro.
that is like incredible filmmaking. Sigourney's already worked with him, what, Aliens and then Avatars? That's it?
She's worked with him on Aliens, Avatar, Avatar, The Way of Water. I think she's in Fire and Ash. I don't think she's in True Lies. It's been a minute since I've seen True Lies, and I don't
Yeah,
think
same
she's
when I
in
see
that.
it. Yeah, she's in Fire and Ash. Have they started filming for? Probably not.
I'm willing to bet they've probably already started filming
Parts
four,
of
or
it.
at least parts of it,
Because I know I think he said that they kind of filmed three so that it could be the ending in case like they bombed.
which isn't going to
But
happen. It's not going
no,
to bomb.
it's gonna be it's gonna be the fourth or probably fourth or fifth highest grossing film of all time, probably.
I mean, everyone doubted the second movie, and it ended up doing really well
Yeah.
too. And it's like, I
And that's
don't
the
know what
third
world you
highest
guys
grossing
are
movie of all
living
time.
in where they're re-releasing Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water, and they sell out every time when
Yeah.
they re-release them.
And they're definitely gonna do it
They're
again
uh
this year.
they're re-releasing The Way of Water, which I almost wish they'd release the first one too. I'd be there day one too.
Mm-hmm. Paul Reiser.
She's great in this though. I think this is probably the best she's looked, even more so than the first one.
Does Ridley hate this one?
I know that he hates another
I,
one that he didn't do, but if I'm
I
being
feel like he
honest, if you told me that he hated this one, I'd be like, it's just because he knows it's better.
let me see. Does Ridley Scott hate aliens?
You're gonna get like a Chat
On the fly
GPT
back.
response that says like, no, Ridley Scott does not hate aliens. He in fact directed three movies in the Aliens franchise. He loves them.
It says Ridley Scott was originally pissed about aliens, but he eventually became a fan.
Does it say why?
No. This is from a Reddit thread, so I don't think that's okay. Why does Ridley Scott he's blah, blah, blah.
I believe it. I take it as fact, actually.
I think it's because they didn't bring him back because he was box office poison at the time because of Blade Runner.
Fuck that, man.
So they didn't bring him back. And then Cameron's approach essentially, Cameron basically just makes like a war film.
I mean, everyone kind of says the same thing about Terminator 2 in this movie, where they say that like Alien is a horror movie and Aliens 2 or Aliens is an action movie. And you could definitely say the same thing about Terminator, where like the first one's definitely more on the horror thriller side. And
Yeah.
then Terminator 2 is definitely leans more into the action, which like he did do both Terminator movies, but in this case, it's like he just took the concept of the Alien franchise and he added like these Space Marines in there, and it
Hmm.
definitely feels more like a action movie, but it still has a lot of those like suspenseful elements to it.
Yeah. Because when I was rewatching it, I was like, because this is post Vietnam by 10 years, 15 years. Like it still feels like a film that could be part of like a Vietnam era type of
Yeah.
critique on how US soldiers deal with things and how government deals with things.
In a way, it does kind of feel like adjacent to the Paul Verhoeven Starship Troopers. Maybe not to the
Hmm.
same extent because that one's a little bit more on the side of like really heavy satire, but this one definitely feels like it takes itself more seriously.
Yeah. Like especially then you
Did
have Paul
you
Reiser becoming like quote unquote the villain and he has to bring back the species.
did you know this is crazy to me when I learned this. Sigourney Weaver got an Oscar nomination for this movie.
She did?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's crazy. You
let
would
me
never know
see.
by just watching this.
I've never known that.
I wonder who won
Damn.
it that year because I don't think it was her.
Aliens received two awards and won two Oscars: Best Sound Effects Editing and Best Visual Effects. Weaver was nominated for Best Actress. That's wild.
It would never
For
happen today.
for Aliens?
for a
You,
sci-fi movie. That's just the
yeah,
what alone. That's what kind of gets me. I forget this guy's name, the actor, but he's a lot of
Paul
people
Reiser.
don't. Paul Reiser, that's his fucking name, yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff, but recently I think the thing that people probably don't realize that he's in is Whiplash. He's the dad.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's in a lot of stuff. I mean, he's in
Yeah,
like
he's
his
in
big
Stranger
thing was
Things.
the Mad About You and My Two Dads. I
Yeah,
think was the.
he's been in a few things, but I think the big thing that I kind of caught him in recently was Whiplash, and that's the last thing I think I've seen in him that was I was like I remember seeing it, I was
He's
like,
in the
oh, that's Paul Reiser.
he's in the Beverly Hills Cop movies.
What's her name? You know the girl that plays what's her name? Vasquez, Jeanette Goldstein.
Hmm.
She's in Terminator 2, she's the like the foster mom.
Oh yeah.
And you never recognize her by just watching it because she looks
Hmm.
so vastly different in both of them. And also Terminator, she doesn't have as big of a role, but I mean, hey, she's there.
She's in her IMDb profile photo is just this movie
It's
is
just a picture from Aliens, I know.
stupid.
I was looking at it
Oh yeah,
too.
they have a. Oh, she's in Titanic. She's the lady that
Oh,
puts
she's
the.
the one of the mom. She's the mom
She's
that gets like
the
she
third
drives with the
class.
kids. Yes.
Yeah,
She's the
I
one
did
that drives with
not
the
know
kids. It's
that.
crazy. I forget about that too.
Whoa, that's fucking wild. I did not know that. She was also in Near
Cameron,
Dark
Cameron fucking
with
bro, like
Bigelow. She's,
he chooses somebody he likes and he just keeps working with him.
she was in Near Dark
Respect.
too with Bigelow. That's crazy. I did not know she was the lady in Titanic. That's fucking wild. My mind is just blown right now. She's in Clock Stoppers. Have you ever seen that movie?
Clock stoppers, yeah.
Everyone Sigourney Weaver was in The Village.
Yeah, actually.
My brother played beer pong with her.
A good piece of lore. Isn't she like in her like 70s?
Yeah, so like my brother knew the guy where they shot The Village. It was another kid that went to our high school. It was on his land. So like Sigourney Weaver like would stay with them, and then she became like friends with them over time. So she would like sometimes visit if she was in the area. And I think my brother just happened to be over one day. They were like playing beer
He
pong.
is she is 76 years old.
Damn. Yeah, she was just on John Mulaney's show.
I need to watch that. Didn't he just have like a bunch of kids on
Yeah,
and
he
he like
fought
fought them?
he fought like three 14-year-olds. And
Did
they
he
all
win?
pinned him.
I need to know.
No, they pinned him to the ground and he tapped out.
It's the funniest shit in the world. You see what I mean? Like the extended cut, I want to say that they don't like do this for like a while. I love this guy that just
Yeah.
immediately goes for a cigar.
Yeah, I feel like they had a lot more discussion. I think the boardroom scene was a lot longer.
It definitely was. There was just a lot more
There's my
discussion
man.
overall about, oh, Bill, rest in peace, man. This guy right here with the cigar, I love this.
Immediately puts a cigar in.
Bro woke up for who knows after how long, like probably years.
For like 2 years and just immediately puts a cigar in. Yeah, because he used him in Terminator.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, he's only made 10
He's
films
in
now.
the Abyss too. Oh wait, you're talking about Bill Paxton?
No, Michael Bean, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in the Abyss too.
The Abyss,
People
yeah.
forget he's in the Abyss.
I think people forget that James Cameron made The Abyss.
I did you go to see the re-release and they put it in theaters?
No, but I think it's the same transfer that's on the 4K, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I actually
I
haven't
wanted to see
I
it in
actually
theaters,
haven't
but I
watched
just
that
didn't get
4K since I got it.
the
It'd
4K
be
for
nice.
that one. I really like the 4K for it. I know that a lot of people were kind of dogging on it, but between the ones that were released, I think it is the best one that
Yeah. This one wasn't bad either because I was rewatching it. I'm like, this looks good. It just I know he takes the film grain away, but like it's it it looks good. Like it's not like this is atrocious. And I think that's what I was saying earlier. I think people have just gotten so like up their own ass about transfers and they're not going to buy them. And it's like, dude, this is clearly the best this film has probably ever looked. And at the
Do
time,
you do
if they had
you
if he had the technology at the time, he probably would have done it this way.
do
Like
you
he would have made it
find
look
that
like this.
like would you change your mind if they changed some of the color grading at all? Because I remember that that was quite a bit of
I
controversy
mean, they did
for.
that for the Twister 4K. They made like it's a lot more greener and it looks like
Yeah.
overly green, but it's like Jan de Bont, I think over some of them oversaw it that worked on the movie. So it's like this is what they intended it for it to look like. They just didn't have it the technology to make it look like that way at the time. So I mean, it's not my film, so I can't really complain, I guess.
Um, what was I gonna say? There was, I mean, I guess my thing with something like that is too, is that like if it's kind of back to your point, if you're not the one making it and they prefer to make it a different color, it's them, I guess. But when you have audiences that are just used to seeing a movie a specific way for
Yeah.
years, I guess I
I mean,
could
I had
kind of
this on
sympathize with that.
Yeah, I mean, I had this on
Um,
VHS. I found the VHS for $1. I recently
you
bought
know
it. I was like,
the
yeah.
I have the Alien one on the first one on VHS, but you know that they changed the color grading for the Lord of the Rings too for the 4Ks and the
Hmm.
Blu-rays. Like when you
It
watch the
doesn't really bother me that
Blu-rays
much for the
with
4Ks,
the
but
Lord of the Rings ones, it's kind of subtle. And I think because they're so long, you almost don't notice it, and the colors
yeah.
don't seem that different.
And I still have the Blu-ray set. I'll keep that because
Yeah,
that's a great set, and I have both that and the 4K set.
I have. Yeah, same here. Um, what was it? The Three Colors trilogy. I know the Kieslowski transfers that they did at the 4Ks for those. Those just got 4Ks in the last like 3 or 4 years, I want to say, and there was quite a bit of controversy whenever those came out for the color grading. And then the same thing with like some of
Was it
the
in the Mid for Love? Didn't they change that color
I was
grading?
gonna say the Wong Kar-wai movies got some differences in
Yeah,
color grading too, and people were really mad about those too.
I get like both sides of it. I get like it has looked that way for so long, but then I get like the director being like, "Well, this is what I wanted it to look
I
like at
wanted
the
it, I just couldn't do it
time."
at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I see both sides of it. I haven't gotten the three colors. I still don't own that. Obviously, I've seen
they're
it,
great
but
movies. I mean, I don't have the
maybe I'll
four
finally
Ks.
maybe I'll finally get the 4Ks. But that's the thing, like the sale comes and Barnes and Noble doesn't carry sets anymore. You have to get them like.
I think it
But I mean,
depends. Like
I,
there's Barnes and Noble that I go to. They carry like the smaller sets, like the trilogies, but they don't
yeah, they
have the
don't carry
bigger
like
sets.
Fellini, like that Fellini set. Like they don't have
The
that
big ass one,
anymore.
yeah. They
Yeah.
used to have them behind the register. You could go up and be like, I want to get
Hmm.
that. They used to
Yeah.
have the Godzilla
I
one
mean, I
next to
guess
mine.
you could essentially, I guess, have it ordered to the store and then
I
pay for it that
guess.
way. It's the
Not the
same
same thing
thing.
though.
I know it's like I want to find it. Like there it is. Because I think also when the sale happens, obviously Criterion matches it on their website, so you can easily just buy it on the website. But that's not as fun. I want to find it in the wild.
It's not as fun. I want to find it in the wild, yeah.
But yeah, but
For
with
me
box
personally,
sets, I
like
might have to buy the.
I'm
I'm trying to get
it's
that
weird
Jacques Demy set.
yeah. It's weird to think about, but like sometimes I'll be like out in public and I'll like find a movie store and like I know I can buy it cheaper on like Amazon or something, but like being there in person is a whole different thing. It's like the
I
thrill of
know.
finding it.
You got that sale coming up.
Yeah, and that Wes Anderson set is about to come out too. I'm probably gonna get the individuals for the 4Ks on that.
Yeah. Maybe if I like asked for it as like a present or something.
These
Like
I
I
like
don't think I
the
would personally spend $250 on that whole set myself. Because I already
one thing
own,
I've
like I said, I think I was
noticed.
telling you, I own all of them. Like,
Yeah, I do too. One thing I noticed
so
about the like differences with like Cameron as like he evolves as a director, especially with these movies and even like Terminator and even The Abyss for that matter, is that they get a lot more like I don't know how to explain it. Like it feels like he like starts getting a little bit more claustrophobic and a little bit more contained with what he's doing. Like this one,
Hmm.
it's like the story
He
is
shoots
so
it. He shoots
concise,
this
but there's
very
so
close
many
up.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Abyss kind of feels a bit more claustrophobic when you're watching it because it's all takes place in
Hmm.
that like those spaces.
Yeah. I mean, for him, from him, like the run, obviously he's still on. Like, obviously minus Piranha 2, he was like enough of that.
Yeah.
Terminator, Aliens, The
Insane.
Abyss, T2, True Lies, Titanic, and then Avatars. Like,
I don't care what anyone says about Avatars. Like those movies don't miss. Yeah,
they're
Avatar 2
fucking
is kind
great.
of
Like, they're not
goofy,
my
man, but
they're not
like,
my
come
favorite
on. You
movies.
gonna say
They're
or
not like
tell me
my
that those aren't
favorite
fun
movies.
movies?
Yeah, they're not my favorite movies. Like even from him, but it's like clearly these are good movies. Like they're good fucking movies. Like, and Avatar 2 was great. I think Avatar 2 is better than Avatar.
Yeah.
And if you can keep going, because I think isn't he writing another screenplay for something? I don't know if he's directing it though. What
He
was
just
it?
confirmed that he's doing something, and I can't remember what it is. I think they
I
bought
think
the
I
rights to
saw it.
something, and I think he's either producing it or directing it. But I can't imagine he'd be directing if he's got Avatar 3, 4, 5, and
The
who knows how many up his ass.
discussing film. Oh, I think it was like the other last week. It was like, let's see. Of course, it doesn't pop up.
I love
Blah, blah,
these shots of this
blah.
ship. Like,
Oh, Ghost of
just
Hiroshima will be
matte
his
paintings.
next non-Avatar film. So he guess he's writing the script for that. Because I don't know, did he say that he after four he's like I might hand off the
All I know is
Avatar?
that, like, with Avatar specifically, the last one was supposed to come out, what, a year ago? 2024? And they delayed it. And so it makes me think, like, if this is the pattern we're going to keep continuing going down, let me see. When does, I mean, Avatar 3 comes out this year, hopefully.
Avatar 4 says 2029. That means they haven't even shot it yet.
I don't think
But I
that's the
think
case. I think they may have already shot it, and I think they're just,
say,
or at least part of it. They were talking in an interview about how they were shooting parts of 4 because there's like flashback stuff.
hmm.
But I would imagine that Avatar 3 is probably going to feel like the end of a trilogy. So that way 4 and 5 are kind of their own thing.
Yeah, it's scheduled for release December 21st, 2029.
So here's my theory. If Avatar 4 is coming out 2029 and then Avatar 5 is 2031, then I can almost guarantee that he's probably gonna have to give it to someone to do. At least
Yeah.
part of it anyway. Because he's already really old. And
They
then
basically these machines right here are basically in Avatar.
they are. I mean, they're like you can honestly like look at this as the same world and it does not change anything.
Yeah. Like you can see like at the same time this is going on, they're fucking on the Avatar planet.
He has the same shots as this ship, like going over the planet in Avatar 2. Like he has the exact same types of shots. And the funny thing is that you see the shot of that ship and it's like clearly painted out. You
Hmm.
can see the clear lines of it being cut out, but also it's so interesting to think about like 2009, 2022, whenever Avatar Way of Water came out, like the shots just look so much more developed. Like we've talked about it before, but watching a director's style evolve from like their very early work to now and seeing the technology that has evolved, but also their style and their like distinct look to their movies, it's so cool.
Hmm.
Because he has shots like this too in Avatar where like you see them in like the hangar or something and the camera's moving to just show you the space and the technology, and then it kind of like finishes on one person as they're walking or something.
Bro, it's Tumblr.
He's so cool, man. I fucking love Cameron.
I love how he just wears those like racing long sleeves now. That's all he
I know the like
wears.
Fox, like
Yeah. That's like his
he
entire
fucking loves wearing
wardrobe.
them, bro.
The dude just explores the depths of the sea. Have you ever seen the South Park episode where James Cameron's in it, and they need to raise the bar that's at the end of the bottom of the ocean. And James Cameron goes down, and they play the James Cameron theme song. You've
I've
never
not
seen
seen
that?
it.
I'll have to send you the clip. It's so fucking funny.
Um, I mean, you obviously know that story about like James Cameron being like underwater when 9/11 happened. And there's
Just
a
looking at the
video of
Titanic.
there's a yeah, like he was just playing around with the Titanic. And there's a video where he comes out of the water and Bill Paxton is talking to him and he's like telling him he's like they're calling it the worst man-made or the worst disaster in human history, Jim. And he's just sitting there like, "Oh my God." Like he was down there for hours.
Literally had no idea that it was happening. Yeah, because him
That's
and Bill
so funny.
Paxton became like best
They were
friends.
really close. They were really fucking
Yeah.
close, man.
And I guess we can talk about the Titanic alternate ending when we watch Titanic, which is certainly something. That was my first viral Twitter video. Was the Titanic alternate ending? I posted it.
Oh, like how the ending like changes everything completely.
Like you've seen the alternate ending, right?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
like
Doesn't throw it over, and then they're like talking to her. They also like awkwardly start laughing. It's like, what is going on right now? Yeah, it's just like so like military,
he's always had a thing for like having like how do I explain it? Like
critiquing the
showing
military.
like critiquing the military, but also showing how fucking cool it looks. It's
Yeah.
hard to like sit here and be like, because I'm not pro-military. I definitely think that there's a use for it. I don't think I'm completely anti-military
Hmm.
either. But part of me does think to myself, like, man, this shit looks cool as fuck.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to show like in the beginning, like they're all so tough and they're all like, look at like she's trying to warn them, like, hey, you shouldn't do this stuff. There's fucking aliens there. I've already interacted with them. And they're like, shut
Yeah.
up. Who cares? Look at us. We got fucking machine guns. And then when they finally get there, they're like, oh shit, she's right. Like
Well, like they also one thing I noticed because it's weird to watch something like this, knowing that there's a director's cut or the special edition. I'm just gonna call it director's cut from now on. I don't care.
Mhm.
But whenever you're watching a movie and you've seen the theatrical cut and then you watch the director's cut, you're like, oh, this wasn't in the original cut. So when you're watching it the other way, where it's director's cut then theatrical, you forget what's not there. And I just remembered that they don't show that Newt's family was in there.
Mm.
The whole idea was that like they show the ship earlier in the movie too. And I think the whole thing was that like her family went in to go see if they could find anything or something like that, and then she got trapped in there, but they never showed it.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing the theatrical cut without knowing the context.
It's, you know, they're like, you got to trim it down. It's too long.
I mean, I don't know, man. I see that and I get it where they're coming from the studios and shit, but at the same time, part of me is just like, how do you watch a movie that good and think like, yeah, cut it down?
Yeah, because when I started
The
the
director's cut is so
special
much better.
edition, or the yeah, the director's started it like it had like a 30-second James Cameron intro from like 1999, and he was like, "Yeah,
I
this is
miss
the
this.
actual." He was like, "This is the actual intended cut of the movie, how it was supposed to be seen, the special edition." So that's like,
They're
if
funny
he was to say
enough.
watch anything, watch the special edition, which I don't think is streaming anywhere. Hence why we're watching the theatrical cut.
If you can watch the director's cut though, when you're listening to this and you're interested, definitely watch the director's cut if you can. It's on a Blu-ray. You can find it with a box set. You can probably find the director's cut online somewhere,
You
but
probably find it somewhere, yeah. But whenever I think it's
it,
on like a Netflix or
yeah,
they're
it's
just
not going
gonna
to be
have the
streaming.
theatrical, yeah,
Get the 4K for it.
it's true. Get the
You have
4K.
the 4K. Does the 4K have the director's cut in 4K or is it just the
Yes, it
theatrical?
does.
Okay,
Has them
so
both. Has them
maybe
both in
maybe
4K.
maybe tomorrow I walk into that Barnes and Noble and I buy that 4K. The oversized
You
price or
might.
the overpriced
What was the price
Blu-ray
there
that they
for?
sell. You know, it's crazy because Barnes and Noble's weird about their stuff. Like their stuff is so much more expensive for some reason.
On
Like the same Blu-ray will be like $15 on Amazon, you'll get it at Barnes and Noble for like 25,
Yeah,
maybe 30.
I think it's just, someone actually pointed it out to me. They're like, because it technically the listing price for on Amazon is 34.99, but it's on sale for 24.99. They're basically saying that um Amazon is always on sale, but Barnes and Noble will go by the MSRP price. So at Barnes and Noble it'll be 34.99.
That's what I mean. And they do have this thing where they do sales and they do give it like a certain percentage
Yeah.
off, but then you compare the prices on Amazon and you're just sitting in the store like, I'm just gonna order this on Amazon.
Yeah.
It sucks. I don't want to support Bezos more than I have to, but it's the only way that's like accessible now,
Especially now that
unless
Best
you
Buy is
have,
no
yeah.
longer selling anything and Target's no longer selling anything.
Best Buy, you
Walmart
used to be able to
basically
like
sells
price match stuff.
DVDs.
So even if Amazon had them, you could price
Yeah, you
match
could
them
go
there.
say like
Walmart,
there's at Best Buy it was $30 opening day and Amazon had it for 24. You'd get it for 24.
Walmart is probably the biggest retailer when it comes to physical media for like a big box retail store. But the problem is they never like put their stuff out. Like they just don't fill their shelves, and it makes it annoying to want to talk to somebody and say like,
Yeah.
"Hey, can you grab this in the back for me?" And they don't want to do it. And it's so clear that they don't want to do it. So it's like, I don't, I'm just gonna order this online, man.
And they majority they majority carry like DVDs mainly Walmart.
Yeah, they carry a lot of DVDs, and like,
They
yeah,
do
I
have a
get a
lot of
DVD sale.
if you want to get like a TV box set, like
They
Walmart
carry a
has
lot of them.
like
They have a good deal.
everything. Yeah, and you can get them for, yeah, they get good deals there. And a lot of them are just DVD, but like you can get like a whole series for like 30, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Like I was watching like these scenes and I'm like, damn, this is like literally like a has a Vietnam feel
Yeah,
to me.
it feels like you're watching like something from the 70s or 80s, like almost like Apocalypse Now to an extent.
Yeah. And I'm not when did and Full Metal Jacket was the next year.
Damn, that's been a good year for anybody. Honestly, do you think if it was like that year, those few years, me and you would be friends and we would just be like going to see these every week?
Dude, I mean the I couldn't imagine. I mean, obviously
We'd
was
be
born
like
in
the film snobs
'92,
talking
but
about stuff. We'd be like, we're gonna drive an extra 40 minutes just to watch it on 70 mil. Fuck this
yeah,
35 shit.
dude, I'd be like, I feel like growing up in like the '80s and watching all these movies like on the big screen, like during the summer, was probably fucking awesome. You had Back to the Future, Aliens, Raiders of the
Time to
Lost
be
Ark.
alive. Time to be alive.
I mean, the '90s we had good shit, but like, yeah, I feel like growing up in the '80s was just like a different vibe,
It was like a point in time where like
which I guess is like the vibe of
technology was
Stranger
advancing
Things.
so quickly.
Like,
I mean, yeah, too.
minus the
But like technology was evolving so quickly, so you were able to get amazing movies like this and the creativity
yeah.
behind it too, like being able to predict like what was going on in the future, but also like in such a different way.
Me and you'd be buying Laserdisc Criterions and having to flip it every 10 minutes. Hang on, I gotta get up and flip it again.
Uh, it's kind of funny to think about, but like the reason that Criterion became as popular as it did was because of all the special features. Like the
Yeah,
VHS was already a readily available thing, but Laserdisc was
they were trying something new and just didn't really take off. People, I don't. People collect laser discs. I don't really personally, but it'd be cool to like find something like Alien just on the laser disc to just like display it. Because there's things you had to change. It was like every 15 minutes you had to flip it. So there'd be like in the laser disc like set, there's like 10 laser discs in there. I think
I
that'd
have a
just be
friend
so
who
annoying. Every 10 minutes, they're
collects
like,
them,
God,
and I don't
I
think
gotta
he has a way to watch
flip
them.
it.
David Lynch had a Laserdisc player, and they I think it was up for auction recently. He had a
That's
bunch of
funny.
movies.
I mean, like VHS has made a pretty big comeback for people like collecting.
I collect a lot of VHS. I think we both do, to be honest with you. I mean, I sent you that Back to the Future one.
I have some. I have the Back to the Future one you sent me. I have Aliens, the Titanic 2 VHS that I found at Goodwill for $1.
Curious if James Cameron has. Let me look through his filmography real fast. I'm
I
gonna
just
point
don't
this
have
out.
I don't have a VHS player, so Trying to find a CRT TV, but I don't think I'm ever gonna find that
I got lucky with mine.
because that's where I would like just like a smaller TV like that and put throwing a VHS
Yeah.
on just like in the background.
I always like to have them on whenever I have friends over.
Just a cool vibe.
Okay, so I was wrong. I thought for a second maybe I noticed that Terminator was in a taller ratio, like a 185 to 1. And then same thing with this movie. So I thought maybe Terminator 2 and The Abyss, maybe widescreen or taller ratio. But Terminator 2 and The Abyss are both in a 2 to 39 ratio.
Mm.
But I thought about it because Avatar and Avatar The Way of Water are in a taller ratio as well. So
Yeah, they're are they this ratio?
yeah, 185 to 1. But those are the only two I really checked because immediately The Abyss kind of debunked that theory.
Mm. Yeah, you said Terminator was this one, 185.
Terminator 1 is, Terminator
Terminator
2
2
is
is
239.
239.
So it's a wider ratio, which makes sense. Makes sense. It's a bigger scope, it's a bigger movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's 1991 to 90. When did they come out? James Cameron. The fuck is it? I've gone too far. 91. Ha, was right. That's wild. Titanic 1997, and then 12 years later, he made another movie. That's hard.
He takes his time with movies, bro. Like that's what I like
Yeah.
about the guy is that he doesn't like in the time that he's what is this? Like 10 movies that he's made?
The 10th will
12?
be Fire and Ash.
10th will be Fire and Ash. How many Guy Ritchie movies have we seen in that time?
Talking about the Fountain of Youth, bro.
Let's look at how many movies Guy Ritchie's made because he's the first person I think about that just pumps them out. So we've got 2024, 2023, 2023, 2021. Since 2000, we're gonna actually look from this from the beginning. 1998. One, two.
Because Lock Stock was 98, right?
I'm only doing directed by. I don't know why it's showing me written by. Hold on. He's okay. 39 projects. This is full of shit. There's no way. We're gonna do what he's directed that are movies. Music videos don't count. Okay, so we got one, two. Is this a full feature? Yeah. Okay, so that's a third movie. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. We're already at 2019. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's done 17 movies, and half of them were like the last 5 years.
James Cameron's done 9.
But how many movies can you say that Guy Ritchie's made? And actually, here's a better question. How many of those movies can you like talk about and be like, yeah, shit bangs,
Let me
the way that
see.
this movie does?
Let me see.
I think Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
Lock, Stock,
Barrels,
Snatch.
Snatch, Man from Uncle, maybe
Yeah, I like
Sherlock
Man from
Holmes, and
Uncle.
even then, it's like
After the Man from Uncle, it gets pretty. Yeah, like I like The Gentleman. I liked Wrath of Man, but they're not like, oh my God, drop everything you're doing and watch those.
drop everything you're doing and watch these fucking movies.
Never saw The Covenant. Like the Ministry of a Gentlemanly Warfare. Like I liked it. Like it's entertaining, but like I forget it exists unless I see a poster of it.
I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. I see Guy Ritchie's name attached to movies sometimes now, and I'm just like, no.
I mean,
Like immediately, I'm like,
I
no.
have not watched. I have not watched The Fountain of Youth.
I hope Baja's listening to this episode.
Does she hate Guy Ritchie? No, she likes Snatch though.
Snatch is good. Snatch is good.
Snatch is good. I
I
mean, his first
respect
two
I
movies are
respect that
really
one,
good.
Baja, but
Lock,
not
Stock, and Snatch.
not the was it called like the Ministry of Ungentlemanly
Lee
Warfare?
Warfare. You don't like Aladdin, bro?
Fuck Aladdin, man.
You don't like King Arthur, or it was just Guy Ritchie like snorting cocaine and making a King Arthur movie?
Oh man. Actually, I remember watching King Arthur in theaters,
I saw that
and
in
I didn't
theaters
I didn't hate it. I remember
at
that.
the Los Feliz 3.
I don't remember hating um King Arthur. Funny enough.
I think I own the Blu-ray of it. I
This
think I got it for like
so
$2.
then this scene right here where they find Newt's character in on one hand I get like how this would have worked on its own. Like you don't need to have the rest of the family stuff in there, but it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Like you don't really. It's just like, oh, there was a kid here. That's it.
It doesn't really change the story much. It just kind of adds to like how
It
she
works.
got
It
there.
works either way. It works either way. Yeah, because it obviously the audience member would just infer like, oh, she's been surviving here. Got it.
He does point that out too. He's like game over, man, and he says like she's been here for like 2 months by herself with no food or water.
Yeah.
He's like, then put her in charge.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
Freaking out.
like put her in charge then.
Newt, basically her daughter. No.
Basically, hit Dota, yeah. Well, the whole idea too with this thing is that like the extended cut explains that like she had a daughter that died.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they didn't
And
talk
the
about that in
director's
this, did they?
cut does, or the theatrical cut doesn't really even mention it, let alone
Yeah.
talk about it. Which, like, part of me really likes that in the director's cut because I think it adds a lot more depth to the thing with like her, like it's
It
not her
adds to their
daughter,
connection more. It adds to their
but that's
connection.
the connection though. Is
Yeah.
the is that you kind of feel for her where she's like, especially that line where she says like, "Get away from her, you bitch!" Like you immediately feel
Yeah.
that sense of like, "Yes, mom, like go for her." But
Hmm.
without showing that Newt now no longer has a family, as well as the fact that Ripley no longer has a daughter, and that is all taken from her. It still works without it, but I think it's much more effective watching the director's cut.
Hmm.
Like this
This
scene
was the
alone,
only movie she did. Newt. The girl plays Newt.
I read something
Crazy.
about Bill Paxton saying that he apologized every time that he would cuss around her, his character, and she said it was fine because she didn't really even know what the words meant at the time.
Yeah.
She's got to be like what 9, maybe 10.
Yeah, probably 8 to 10, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, this is the only movie she did. She was 10.
Damn,
Yeah, that was the only movie you did. Just I did Aliens.
I was in Aliens.
Now I'm like a lawyer.
You're a lawyer now? I wanted to do
It
lawyering.
was like the Goonies. Like, what's this? The guy who plays Chunk is like an entertainment lawyer, so he's like he's like that entire cast lawyer now. Like, I think he's like Josh Brolin's lawyer too. Yo, hot chocolate. I could fuck up some hot chocolate.
We should pause the pod, go get some hot chocolate.
We'll be right back in like 2 hours.
We'll be back. Pause the episode.
I did order some Taco Bell, so I'm a little munching it away on it.
Munching away at some Tico Ball.
Some Taco Ball,
Tico Ball.
the Holy
I call
Land.
it Tico Ball. There's something about Taco Bell that I just it rolls off the tongue. You could say Tico Ball and it makes sense.
Yo, where the aliens at, bro? This movie sucks.
This movie sucks. There's no aliens.
One star. Took too long.
You know, have you seen that thing on, I think it was on Twitter the other day that I saw that was like a picture of someone who had just logged letter like on Letterbox like the first Alien. It said, "Good movie. I wish there was more than one alien." And then they logged the second one and it said, "Yo."
It's like it's the story of James Cameron just raining aliens with the money
Dollar
sign.
sign. Everyone's heard that story. I don't think it's true.
I don't
But
think it's ever been confirmed yet.
I mean the same thing was happening with Sinners whenever that came out in theaters. Everybody was saying like that's how he pitched it to them, was he put the
Sinners.
S at the end with like, a bunch of dollar
What?
signs.
Drops the marker, walks away. They're like, holy shit.
They're like, holy shit, this guy knows.
It's kind of wild that they essentially fired Ridley Scott because of Blade Runner.
I mean, it sounds ridiculous now that we think like we're talking about it, it sounds
But at the
ridiculous
time,
because it's like
yeah,
it's Ridley Scott, but then you hear stories about people in like Hollywood now where like they were signed on to do like a Star Wars movie, a Jurassic Park movie, whatever it might be, and then they do one movie that just immediately like
not good.
not
Bombs,
like
or
not
yeah,
not necessarily not good, but
not
just
good, but
bombs.
bombs.
Like doesn't make
Yeah,
any money, and then everybody's like, yeah, they're not doing Star Wars anymore. Like it
yeah.
sucks to say that, but like it happens all the time.
hmm It's always happened.
And it's like that movie that they did that bombed had nothing to do with them. It had to do with the studio
Well, it's even
not
like
promoting their shit.
it's even like Spielberg because he did Jaws, then Jaws is his third film, and the Close Encounters, and he did 1941, which bombed critically and financially. So they're like, oh, this guy's done. He's over. Who's
This
the
guy's
next director?
Dunzo.
And then he makes fucking E.T. and then Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh,
Ridley
he's back.
Scott has never been like the kind of director that's very like consistent. I think he has mostly movies that kind of hit, but when he has a stinker, like he has a stinker, bro.
Yeah,
It's like there's nothing that's
like
inherently
Gladiator
like
2.
terrible about his movies, like the ones that are bad, but it's the ones that are bad that are like they stick out like a sore thumb, and it's
It's just
because
yeah,
the
it's really
movies that he
weird what
has
he'll
are
do.
so good.
Yeah, it'll be like Thelma and Louise and Alien. Then he's like, here's I don't know, like
The
Gladiator
Counselor.
2, The Counselor. Like then he'll make The Last Duel, and you're like, dude. I mean, this dude's
Where the
got
fuck was this?
something
Yeah,
there.
you're like, where was this, bro?
Yeah, I think Ridley's just like at this point, he's just cranking him out because he's like 87 years old. So he's just like, fuck it.
There's been a few things I've read from people who have worked with Ridley recently, especially like regarding Gladiator 2, where they said that he was just getting lazy. Where they say that
Yeah.
he'll and like I get where they're coming from because the whole thing with them is that like and actually this is a good segue to kind of talk about James Cameron here for a second because I feel like I saw this thing with Cameron and I saw this thing with Ridley and it makes me think you're two different directors working with two different with same technology essentially, but in two different ways, right? And it's that
hmm
Ridley Scott will have like five cameras rolling at once, and he just edits out the
Yeah.
cameras, like he just CGs it out, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But it makes me wonder, like, how do you decide what take you're using from, and do you use the same take from all five cameras, and then do you just CG out the camera from each shot? And then Cameron, he'll have like 12 cameras rolling at the same time for
It's
Avatar.
insane. Yeah.
Have you seen the special features on that Avatar set that I'm talking about?
Is that the new 4K sets?
Okay, actually, never mind. We talked about this during one of the Mission
I
Impossible
haven't
movies.
gotten them yet. Yeah. I mean,
But the
I
on
have the
the
Blu-ray, that first Avatar, that big Blu-ray set. I have that,
I have
but I
that
don't
one
have
too. There's a
I don't have
4K
either of them
set
in
for the
4K yet.
Avatar and the second one. It's a collector's edition, but the special features on those, man, like they really have some cool shit on them, and that is one of the things where I'd say like
Yeah, I need to
if you
get
watch
them.
it, you can see Cameron working and like he's got like an 85-inch TV and there's like 12 monitors that you can see on all screens and he's watching all of them at the same time. It is
It's insane.
insane. And it
Like
like
these
makes me think because
degenerate
in a way
gambling.
that's kind of the same thing that Ridley Scott's doing, but we don't judge Cameron for it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. Like you don't see anybody saying that Cameron's lazy, but it's because it's like, well, we don't need to hide the cameras. They're not any sort of like real
Yeah.
photography. It's all digitally based.
But I guess the difference too is Cameron only makes he's only made now 10 movies.
Yeah,
So he
he's
takes
not
his
pumping them
time
out the
with
same
them.
way that
Yeah.
Ridley Scott is. Ridley Scott, I can look at my shelf and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's all only been since like 2004, 2005. And he's definitely got more in between those. I just don't own all of his movies.
Do you have them separated by director over there?
My shelves, I have separated in a few different ways. So like I have this one on the right here. That whole section is like from the middle up is like labels. So Criterion,
Yeah.
the A24 label, you have like some of the Vinegar
Hmm.
Syndrome, Kino Lorber, and then some like special box sets. And then this entire middle section from like a certain point up is all organized by director. And then the like left side of that whole wall is like franchise movies.
Mm. I've thought about
So
doing director like recently, but I was like, I have to reorganize the whole fucking thing.
it
Because
is hard
because
because
I
I
would
think for
be
me,
like, I wouldn't do like the top directors. I'd be like, okay, here's like all now here's all of Ozu's like in this section. Like
I
it's
don't have
like
every single director organized. It's like the big
yeah,
ones
that would
I'd
be
say
too
that like
much.
everyone kind of
Yeah.
knows the names of, but I will say that organizing by director can be kind of difficult because if a director has like 5 or 6 movies and they release one more and you have them all fitting in perfectly and you add that one more and it just makes it too tight. You got to take one out,
Yeah.
like a director's name out, and you got to replace it with something else, and it just makes it a real big difficult thing.
Yeah. I do have it separated by like Criterion and box
Yeah, like
sets
my
and big
Criterion
stuff.
directors, like I have Criterion organized by Criterion, but then also like directors in that section.
Hmm. I have a weird way of organizing. I'll put all the 4Ks at the front. Even if it's like Criterion's area, then I'll put the 4Ks at the front of the Criterions.
I have the directors. Actually, I have like the box set separated as well.
But yeah, I've been thinking about like doing it by director, but I don't like I probably would do it like the way you do it, where it's like kind of just more well-known directors as opposed to like someone who's made like two movies. Like I'm good
I
there.
do have a few that have or like 2 movies. Usually for me to want to put them in the director's thing though, it has to be like minimum 3 or more.
Yeah. Like I said, if it was like a
And there's
Jordan
some directors
Peele
I'd say like I
putting
have two in there,
together,
and I'm like, all right, you deserve to be in there, big dog. You've had two bangers.
like Jordan Peele. Yeah.
I mean, he's got three in there. And then I got
Cameron would
Mike
be
Mills in
easy.
there. He's definitely made more than two, but I only have two of his movies. And then like
Yeah.
Brandon Cronenberg, I have two in there.
Hmm. Cameron would be easy. Like, need nine right now. Well, I guess eight, not including Piranha 2. So you're
I'm
good.
putting Piranha 2 in there.
I mean, he doesn't even consider that his first film. He
You
says
know what's
considers
funny
it
though is that like
Terminator.
with Aliens, I don't have that with the Cameron section. I have that one with the Alien section and like the franchises.
Mm. Because yeah, because then it's like at that point you're like, do I separate this? Because then people will be like,
If
do you
it's
have
a franchise,
aliens?
I
And
will
you're like,
put
well, it's
it
over
with the
here.
franchise. And I can always just be
Yeah,
like, the reason I have it with over here is because this one has Cameron, this one has Ridley Scott, this one has Fincher. So as much as I'd love to separate them, I just can't. It's part of a
yeah,
franchise. But then also gives me more space to work with.
it's true.
I love the look of this like nest. Because with like the first Alien, you could see it, but it's like they don't really show much of like the like this, like
Hmm.
the people like bodies like hung up and
Yeah,
everything.
and you're like, oh shit. I mean, it's been an hour now. Still no alien. Where's the alien,
Yeah.
bro?
Honestly, if this was released now, nobody would like it would be like it takes like an hour to see the aliens.
Yeah, they just complain.
I mean, the director's cut, this has already got to be like an hour, more than an hour in.
Yeah,
Because I feel like all the
at this
stuff in the
point.
second half is pretty similar. Like, I don't think there's much changes in the second half, but the first hour, there's all the stuff with the family. There's the boardroom thing, and that took a
Because
little bit
this is what
longer.
2 hours 18 minutes, 2 hours 17. I think the director's cut's like 2:35.
I'm looking at it right now. 2:34. You were pretty close.
Damn, because I just watched it like a couple days ago. I mean, that's including credits too. So,
Yeah, they were just showing
hey,
these at the
hey, man, you
Plaza Theater
good?
that theater I go to all the time. We got a live one.
Got one.
Rated R for monster violence and for language.
Here's your chest burster.
It's funny to think about though, because like with this one, it feels like they were trying to push a bit more, and like it technically looks better, but it doesn't feel as effective because it's a little bit darker, I guess.
Hmm.
And like, yeah, it's not as much horror as it is action.
Yeah, this one just to me was like straight like action.
There are
It
moments
has
where
horror
it's like
elements,
it
but
kind of gets
yeah,
under your skin. Like there's a shot later in the movie where like I remember that they're like crawling through like the ceiling, and
yeah.
one of
It's
them
when he
like
like
puts their
looks
head through
up.
like a
Yeah,
yeah.
and you can see
And
like
then there's
10 of
shots like
them
this
like
with like
all
the
crawling.
xenomorphs where they're just like crawling around and you don't see them, but you see like their shape, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, and they're right above you, bro. Some damn good lighting in there.
They still make them like they used to, bro. There's
No,
a
they
thing
don't.
with her headpiece that Ripley has on watch where it like changes. It's like they cut back and the earpiece like either disappears or it's in like a different spot.
I was
I
like
remember I noticed it last time I
messed
watched
up.
it.
Like it flipped to
So
the
I
other
think it's
side.
that it's either hanging from her ear or she's like holding onto it or something. Like it
Hmm.
moves.
Continuity era
It's a different time, man.
just lights him on fire. It's fucking
I'm sure you've seen that picture of the that guy that's like wearing the xenomorph suit where he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
on
It's like
break and he's like bent
yeah.
over. He's just
Probably
sitting down. It's the funniest picture ever.
probably sweating his ass off.
I love that picture.
Now I'm gonna look at
Yeah,
the
watch. I
headset.
think it's these shots right here. Watch her like the thing that she's got like her earpiece.
He's shooting them
It
so
cuts
close
back and it
up.
either disappears or it moves like something.
The score kind of has like a Terminator score.
It does. Like the sound of like metal like banging.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it
he
does
shoots
kind of
like
feel
all
very
these
much
scenes
like we
so
were
close
saying.
up too.
The first Terminator has more of like a suspenseful like sound to it. It kind of feels like it's more
Hmm.
in the age of like technology evil, technology bad. Like where do we go from here? And
Yeah.
this one it's like technology is a tool.
Hmm. This
Surprised we
guy's
haven't
like
mentioned it yet. We're an hour in. I felt like we were
she,
probably should have mentioned it earlier, but
oh yeah, it was right there. She didn't have it
oh yeah.
on and now it's back on. Yeah. You're right. Because then he rips it off there. So that just they probably flipped that. Just added that scene earlier. But again, on a first watch, you wouldn't notice that. And then you would notice it the more you
You'd
watch
get so
it.
locked into the movie you wouldn't remember it. So
Yeah.
like she rips it off because they're yelling and then it cuts back.
And then
I
more
want to say
suspense.
it's
You,
this
you
shot.
shoot the action through the. Yeah, it's all. Well, he ripped it off there on her. It was off, and then it cut back to her. It was
Oh,
on, and then he ripped
she
it
cut it
off.
off again. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You see, I missed it. I still pointed it out. Like I was like, "You're gonna watch
I
this. You're gonna see
noticed
some
it.
like
Yeah.
miss something."
No, I'm never gonna not
Um,
see that.
but we are an hour in, and shout out to our boy Vakash. He couldn't join us, unfortunately.
Our man. Just
If
taking
you're
a little
listening,
little
bud.
break. We love you.
Yeah, of course. In the words of famous Vakash, this is so movie.
This is a movie.
This is so movie, bro.
Dude, this looks like the Tumblr. Do you think this is where Chris Nolan got it from?
I mean, like the shot of it like turning that corner and it going through the shadows, it looks like the fucking Batmobile. The music and everything. Like if someone told me this was footage from the Batman movie that got like canceled in like an 80s, I'd be like, yo, I fucking believe it.
This is the
Look at
Joel
that thing
Schumacher. This is
driving
the
through
third
the
one.
fucking smoke.
Yeah. This is the third Joel Schumacher unreleased.
There's been some rumors about a screening of I think Batman Forever that they've been talking about in LA and it keeps getting canceled or
Damn.
something keeps happening
Is it
with
like
it.
is it
I
like
don't
a
know.
director's cut?
So I don't know how true it is, and I think it might have some validity to it, but apparently they were supposed to do like a director's cut screening of Batman Forever. And I
Hmm.
think what happened was someone that was organizing the event or something along those lines got a cease and desist letter saying essentially that they can't show it or
Warner
it'll get
Brothers
shut
said no,
down.
basically. Yeah,
I would imagine it's probably Warner Brothers, but I don't know for sure who did it. But I'm willing to bet it's probably Warner Brothers because they're the
probably.
ones who own it.
Yeah.
The shot of like the blood just spraying them,
Yeah.
and then like cutting to that guy's face like burnt by the acid. It's so quick, but it works so
Hmm.
well.
I think when I was rewatching it, I was just like, damn, all these action scenes, like he shoots them like not super close up, but he uses a lot of close ups.
He shoots a lot of close-ups, but it's very also like he moves the camera enough to where it feels like there's energy and there's chaoticness
Yeah, and then
happening at all
the editing is
times.
super quick. Yeah.
And then like the shots where they're watching all the action from like the room from like the screens,
Hmm.
those shots are static, but the cameras of them moving are moving fast.
Hmm.
And so it sort of puts you in the POV of like the guy watching of like, oh, like this is what they're seeing.
I'd be like, you fucking listen to me now, huh? I told you all this shit would happen.
Dead straight up. And now look what happened. We're stuck here.
You do get stuck there. I feel like in this one, obviously, because the first one only had what, one alien.
Yeah, that's why it's called Alien.
Yeah.
This
They're obvious.
one,
It just shows you
there's
like,
a
oh,
few
these aliens are
aliens.
they're like, oh, this aliens are smart. They're not dumb.
My favorite line in this movie is when Samuel L. Jackson shows up at the end and he says, I'm tired of these mother effing aliens on this motherfucking plane.
I'm putting together a team.
There's a post-credit scene of Newt grown up. She's like from the future. Or actually it's Kyle Reese. That's the post-credit scene.
Yeah, it's a Terminator, actually.
It's like, you think you're the only one with time travel powers? And
I'm Nick Fury.
then it just says like Sarah Connor will return or some shit.
It says Iron Man will return. Like, wait, what? Newt will return. That's all it just says.
Bill Paxton. He's so good in this.
Uh-huh.
Wake up and then good line, good line.
I just love because Bill Paxton was like trying to act so tough earlier.
Yeah, and then I think this is the part I was talking about earlier when he's like saying
He
like
kind of just becomes like
they're
a
like
wimp,
pointing
and
out
he's
that the
just like,
girl like was
"Fuck
there for
this, man."
months. He's like,
Yeah.
screw this, man, I'm out of here. Game
Yeah.
over.
And they kind of implied it earlier too when he's like, I'm all tough. And then the android guy, whatever, took his hand and was doing the knife thing. And you could tell
Oh,
he was like
Bishop.
yeah, he was like so scared. Like, ah, like just to show he is like kind of he does get scared.
I love Lance Henriksen.
He's just bug out cold even, okay. I think the only thing that kind of I don't really that they kind of go for in this is that Ripley and what's his face kind of start to have like a love
A
thing in a
thing.
way. Yeah.
No, they
which is
definitely
like,
do. They
which
try
is
to
like I
echo
kind
it
of
in
feel
the
like
or not Alien Resurrection, but Romulus a little bit, like that moment where he gives her the
yeah.
gun.
I'm
It's
like, you
like I
just don't
get
really like
it.
need in my as I was rewatching this, I was like, you don't really need that in this movie isn't
No,
that
you don't.
because you already have the mother-daughter relationship, and then obviously echoes the mother like alien when she goes there, like they're both protecting their quote unquote kids. But yeah, it's like you don't really need. I think that adds like too much to the plot. Her and
I think
Hicks
it's
like
subtle enough to where it doesn't completely change it, but it definitely is like we didn't need this, and they
yeah,
don't even really
because
dive into it all that much either.
then you have like the Paul Reiser who's like Waylon being like, we need to bring aliens back. So he's like the evil guy. Like you just have a lot going
Yeah.
on.
I think what makes a lot of these stories kind of effective, and it kind of goes back to like zombie stories too. Any sort of zombie movie, like 28 Days Later, even The Last of Us, really is that like the the draw for the movie is like alien, zombie, monster of some sort, whatever it might be. But
Hmm.
then what they don't realize is that there's like a bigger problem at hand, and it's the people that are involved in the story. Because like, yeah, the zombies are the draw, but they're really almost always a secondary
Yeah.
sort of threat.
It's how you're going to like at this point, it's how are you going to escape now? Like you all have
Well, it's like, how are they going to
differing
escape now?
opinions.
But then we get to a point where like his character is trying to like get samples, and he's trying
Yeah.
to get Ellen or Ripley
And
killed in general.
then he tries to kill them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that's just one of those like
It's
what's
like
it called?
greed
Like
in a
just story
way.
beats. It's one of those like story structures that it always works because it's just like, yeah, it makes sense that this greedy fucking person would want to like take an alien home for
Yeah.
himself.
Humans are greedy.
And it kind of goes back to like that line in Jurassic Park. You're so concerned with the idea of could, you never thought about if you should.
It should, yeah. Like, should we have gone here? No. But I guess
From
you
the
wouldn't have
beginning,
new.
it's no. And she tried to tell them all like they can't go there, and they still did.
It's like you wouldn't have new. But it's also like, but then three starts and you're like, well, what was the point of aliens? I think it's my biggest gripe with three. It's like as soon as it starts, you're like, what was the point of aliens? They're immediately all dead.
Yeah. I don't think that's an issue with three, or I don't think it's an issue with aliens to me. I think it's an issue with three, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because like aliens could finish on its
That's
own,
what I'm saying. Yeah. You could just
and
watch.
you could just not watch three and four. And at the end of the
Yeah,
day, like
this
this
could
is
just
a
be the
very
last one.
contained movie. If you wanted to, you could legitimately watch all of this movie and not watch the first one at all, and it still makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you could just also just stop after this. Like, this is your last alien.
Yeah.
Because
I think
Romulus takes
three is
place
like
before this.
three really relies on the idea that two even exists.
Yeah. Because Alien Earth coming out takes place before this. A lot of alien stuff, though.
You reckon we're gonna see an Alien versus Predator resurgence, like a new one?
I feel like they're kind of implying that they're trying to make them in the same universe.
Yeah. Especially with like there's like all these new Predator stuff coming out, all these new aliens,
Hmm.
like the Alien franchise sort of having a resurgence. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over. This little girl's
And
smart.
they don't make the android evil in this.
No, they actually make him like a really good character,
Yeah.
which is funny enough.
It's
I
kind
think
of
very
like they play it off like because obviously if you had watched the first one, then watching this one, you're like, oh, you're waiting for the
there's a
android
point towards
essentially.
the end where it kind of tricks you though. That makes you think that
Yeah,
he
you
is
think
gonna
he is.
be like
Yeah.
he's abandoning her, I think. Like it looks like at the end, and then
He
he comes
comes and
back
gets
at the
her.
last second and he's like,
Yeah.
whoa, he's saving her.
Then he just gets like ripped in half and like thrown like by the mother alien.
Yeah. I mean, she saves him though.
He saves Newt as his
I
like
think he
half
saves
body's
both
like
of
torn
them.
off. Hudson just having a nervous breakdown.
There
The
it is.
salute, that's great. Why'd you put her in charge?
Why don't you put her in charge?
Because she just was quiet and just stayed in one area. That's definitely why. See how like close up this all is
Yeah.
compared to like Alien. Completely different look.
I think Alien was also probably very limited in terms of what all they could shoot.
Yeah.
In terms of like how much, like let me see this real fast. I'm trying to see something.
Hold on, let me cook.
Let me cook. I got an idea here. Okay, okay. So we got one answer. So not a terribly huge difference, but Alien had an $11 million budget and Aliens had an $18.5 million budget. On top of that, this was released 7 years after the first movie, so like I wouldn't say a huge advancement in technology, but you definitely have like the benefit of having quite a bit of like experience, but
Hmm.
also Ridley Scott. I think that I know Alien wasn't his first movie, but it definitely wasn't like
The Duelist was his
I
first
think The
movie.
Duelist, yeah. And then I think he didn't do very much before Alien. Like he went right into it. I remember that.
Hmm.
And at this point, Cameron already did Terminator.
That's probably why they went to Cameron.
Um,
Because Terminator
okay,
was
so he
Fox as
did
well.
he did a lot of shorts and he did some TV series. But as far as movies go, he did The Duelist and then went straight to Alien.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, I I would say it's
Alien then
probably just
Blade
a
Runner.
matter of like they probably had more to work with. He did Blade Runner in 82, yeah. He did Blade Runner 82 and then he did
Legend in there.
Legend in 85.
Because I'm sure he was supposed to make this sequel and then.
But then also it could just be that, different directing styles. James Cameron likes to do a little bit more close-ups than anything. He
And
likes to get a
Terminator
good
was a
balance of
hit, though.
things. And Terminator was
Same
a hit,
studio.
yeah.
Same studio. I'm gonna kill you now.
Who knows? I mean, it could just be a matter of like efficiency, which director works a little bit more efficiently than the other.
Yeah, studio could also just
Um,
be like, we want to go a different direction. We want dollar bill signs, like aliens dollars. Because I feel like if Ridley Scott had made this, it would not be like this actiony.
no, 1,000% it wouldn't.
He makes it medieval. They have swords. Listen, dude, go to sleep. We gotta fight aliens. And he was doing just fine without you guys.
So you guys are actually dragging me down.
Yeah.
You guys are actually slowing me the
Actually,
fuck
I'm
down. So
gonna
I need
go
you guys
back
to
to my
leave.
little like event because you guys kind of suck.
I was here. She's like, I was here for 2 weeks. No one said a fucking word. You guys
Yeah.
show up and 5 people die.
Yeah, me and the aliens were fine. We crossed paths, like we just kind of did a head nod and like walked away. Like
You guys lose 5 people in 2 days. What did that say?
yeah. Here's your mother daughter. Oof,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that light. I cross my heart and hope to die.
Mm.
Guess what? Paul Reiser's gonna be like, nuh
It's hard for me to like tell what's gonna happen next because I never know if the next scene's gonna get cut. So I can't be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, this is the scene where this guy does this exact thing. Because guess what? The last time I thought that, it got cut.
Yeah.
This is fun though. It kind of feels like I'm watching a version of a movie that doesn't exist. Or like someone got offended by. I'm watching on
Mm-hmm.
cable, actually.
Like the aspect ratio changed. Full screen.
I used to hate watching movies on TV because they would always be like blown up.
Yeah, commercials every 7 minutes.
I know I said it before on the pod, but customers asking me like, why has it got black bars on top and bottom? I just want to be like,
Because that's the way it's
I want to
supposed to
punch him in
look.
the face. I'm like, get out of here. Leave right now.
I want full screen. Zoom and enhance.
Jarvis, zoom in, enhance. Jarvis, get rid of the black bars.
Movies came out in 2008. That's when they started. And now A24 is the only studio.
This guy's so greedy. You're crazy, Burke.
You
Do you
can
know the
really
story
tell in this
about?
shot. In this shot, you can really tell the fixing on the 4K, the way that Sigourney Weaver looks. He like takes away a
Oh,
lot of.
like the digital noise. I mean, there's a lot of digital noise
Yeah.
right here. I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Really
you know the story
smooth.
about H.R. Geiger at the airport and how he got like held up because of the alien stuff?
Mm.
Let me see if I can get all the details here because I don't want to misspeak. Um, if I remember correctly. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if it's just drawings or photographs or what it was, but at some point in time, H.R. Geiger, the designer of the Alien and Alien, was at an airport and he got stopped by Dutch customs because he had a bunch of drawings of the aliens in different designs. And I don't know if this is a reputable source, but he got stopped because he either had the drawings or he may have had the actual like 3D model made of like the alien
Mm.
design. And he got stopped by airport security because they were like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what are you taking home?" And then
Yeah.
he was like, "No, no, no, I work for movies. Like, this is what I do." And he had to like explain to them what happened. And they thought they were like legit. Like, it was
Like
insane.
he saw aliens. Like
Yeah, like the people at the airport were like, "What the fuck is this? Like, you're going
yeah.
back to America with this?"
He's like, yeah, I was here and I saw aliens. This is what they look like.
But it's kind of like that story in Argo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or go fuck yourself.
Argo is great. I don't know why no one talks about Argo, but Argo is fantastic.
Best picture winner would probably not even be made today.
That's another movie that has a director's cut people don't know about.
I don't think I've ever seen the director's cut of that. Can you? Is it available?
I have the Blu-ray for it.
Is it on the regular Blu-ray?
No, there's like a separate Blu-ray that they released.
The declassified cut? Is that it?
I think so.
The classified extended edition.
It's got like a blue cover with like yellow, like it looks
Yeah.
like yellow
It
like
looks like a
tape.
box set. It looks like a box
Yeah.
set. Yeah.
Well, the one that I have isn't a box set, but I've seen that one before too. It's like a thicker box set.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the set.
It's not much different, to be honest with you.
Probably just a couple scenes added. I wonder how many times Bill Paxton says man in this. Come on, man. Probably count. Let's see. How many times does Bill Paxton say man?
It's gonna be just like that episode where we guessed how many times they removed the mask in
Say
Mission Impossible,
man
because none of us are gonna be
in
able to look at
Aliens.
it. We have to go through the entire movie and scrub it, count
All
it.
right, what's your guess on the amount of times he says man? I have an
Is there a
answer.
word? Is there an actual like number
Yeah.
for it?
Yeah.
If I had to guess, probably like 110.
He says it 44 times.
That's what I mean. Like, I thought for sure it would have been more. It makes me think of like when you're watching like The Wolf of Wall Street or like Superbad, how they just say the F word like a million times.
Yeah.
There's like a count online too. You can find like a list of like movies that had the most F bombs.
Was it isn't it the Wolf of Wall Street it has the most? Or is it
I
Pulp
think it
Fiction?
was. I think at one point it was Pulp Fiction. I think it's Wolf of Wall Street now. Hold on, let's find out. Don't look it up. I'm gonna test you this time.
I think it might be Pulp
Um.
Fiction.
Okay, so technically speaking, there is two movies before it, but I'm not gonna count them because they're not narrative films.
Jackass.
Actually, that's not true. That's not true. It technically is a like narrative feature, it looks like, but it's not like the
Is it
I
Jackass?
don't think these count. It
Is it
is
Jackass?
no, actually, funny enough. You would think so.
Yeah, you
But
think
it
it's
is the first one that's actually a movie, I would say, is Wolf of Wall Street. And it is 180 times. Or no, I'm sorry. 569 times. The movie's 180 minutes,
Jeez.
3 fucks per minute. Uncut Gems is second. It's 560 and it's got
560
135. So it's
times?
four F bombs per minute.
That's insane.
Anora is pretty close too. It just joined the list. 479 is 3.45 per minute. But also
Damn.
Uncut Gems is shorter, so there's more of them per minute.
Yeah,
But
on
the
average.
first two films is a movie called Swearing at the Movie. It's a 2014 black comedy directed by Warren Pisanata. It looks like it's got an NC-17 rating, but it looks like the entire premise of the movie is that it's about,
The F word, essentially. You're cursing
well,
movie.
I guess bad words, swears in general. There's a second movie called Fuck, a 2005 documentary film about
Fuck.
the word fuck. The film argues that the word is an integral part of societal discussions about freedom of speech and censorship.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it is Wolf of Wall Street. You're right. I was
I'm gonna
wrong.
check this movie out.
Fuck. Just fuck.
Yeah. Can I get 2 tickets to Fuck, please? Did you know that? Did you know
Re-release
that
fuck.
Fuck has a theatrical cut, or there's a director's cut of Fuck?
20-year anniversary, right? 2005. Release it in theaters.
I'm waiting for the 4K. I'm not buying it.
4K.
I'm waiting for the 4K. I'm waiting for the 4 fuck.
The
The
4K
fuck
of
K.
a
The fuck
75
K.
mil.
There's an IMAX release for the movie Fuck. It's in 70
Fuck.
minutes.
70 millimeter. Fuck.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna take your gun and lock you in here with some fucking face huggers. Obviously, she's under the bed. Ripley. Like, I think her nickname's Rips.
Ripley. That's a cool fucking name.
Iconic film character. And after I watched the first one, Alien, before this,
Hmm.
which I guess technically is not the first one from a timeline standpoint, but She's really not the main character until like the last act.
I don't ever look at a movie that's like not the chronological first one as the first, like not the first one. Because like when
Yeah.
people talk about watching the MCU or watching something that's like in order, I always watch the release date versions like in
Hmm.
order. Because for me, like if you have a post-credit scene that lines up so that it falls between one movie and the next, like that doesn't make sense anymore. If you're
Yeah.
watching Captain America first and then
Chronological.
it ends
Yeah.
with you seeing Nick Fury for the first
All
time and it's
them.
like, who the fuck
Yeah.
is this guy?
Yeah. If you had never seen them, yeah, that makes sense.
Even if you have seen them, like it still just doesn't make sense. I would rather watch
Yeah.
them in release date order personally, like any movie franchise. Because they sort of have to take into account the fact that like the other movies already exist. So it's like, let's build around this.
Hmm.
So like I guess the big thing with like Romulus is that like, yeah, technically Romulus comes before this one, but after Alien.
Hmm.
So then imagine watching Alien. It has that sort of like lo-fi tech look to it. It's a little bit dated because the technology looks different. And then you watch Alien Romulus and the 4K looks pristine.
Yeah.
The
Then you watch
images look
this. Yeah.
amazing. The CG, you have a CG Ian Holm character in it that just doesn't feel like it belongs. And then you go back to this. Like it just
This.
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think it depends for me. Like if I was watching the MCU again, I probably would do chronological because I had seen them all already. So it's kind of like whatever. And for this, I did do. I mean, I've seen these so many times. Like I just did chronological. Like it's whatever. Those things are the fucking creepiest, man.
I love how those things
Th-
fucking run. It's so funny. You hear like
yeah,
the little
those things.
pitter patter from like their
Those would
feet.
fucking
It's
terrify
like
me.
tentacles.
I know the sound design is probably just like them, like just going
It's
like on
just
their fingers, like
like I bet what they probably do is they probably just got like a piece of chicken and just smacked it like up
yeah,
and down.
because it's like
I can do it right
it's like a
now. I can grab a piece
slimy,
of chicken from my fridge and just like smack it.
yeah, it's like a slimy sound. Paul Reiser's evil. Could have seen that coming.
Greedy fuck.
I mean, that's the whole point of Wayland Company, right? They're just greedy. Guy Pearce just wanted to see his creator. His creator was like, "Fuck
Dude, I don't know how we've gotten this far without talking about Guy Pearce in these movies. I guess that is more of a Cameron focused pod for these episodes. But hot
I'm
take,
sure we'll do
Guy
an alien
Pearce
on
in
there."
these alien movies, dude, he is awesome. He is great. Like he is not in them enough. He deserves to
And
be in them more.
I watched Prometheus and Covenant too, and I'm like, damn, Fassbender was like really good in these.
Fucking fantastic, bro. There's a reason they call
Especially
those
in
the David
Covenant.
trilogy is because he's
Yeah,
the best part of
he's
them.
the best part
And
of
then we
it.
never got to finish them.
Yeah. Covenant's such a weird cast. Like it's like a stacked cast, but it's a weird like blend. It's like it doesn't come together for me, that
I think
cast.
the
Like
big
for
thing
like
is Danny
Prometheus does.
McBride. Danny McBride is the one thing that feels like it stands out in a way that's like you're not glue, you're doing something else. Like you're not holding anything together.
Which he's not bad in it. As I
But
was
it's
watching,
weird
I'm
because
like,
he's good in
McBride's
it.
like solid in this, but it's like you can't. I think I tweeted out like because someone immediately dies, they get burned in like their
Oh
pod,
yeah, James Franco dies
and it's fucking
immediately.
James Franco. Like I remember it cut to like her watching the clip. It was James Franco, and I started laughing. I was like, oh yeah, I
Did you
fucking
watch any of
forgot
those
James
like it's
Franco.
like they have like like stuff that they released before the movie came out. Did you ever watch any of those?
I think they're all on the Blu-rays. I think you can watch all those like shorts.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you can watch
Hmm.
them and they're all
Yeah,
you can find them online too. Like there's like
I'm
I
sure
guess
they're
they're
on
called like
YouTube.
prologues or
Yeah,
epilogues or something like
yeah.
something that takes place that you have to watch before the movie. There's like a whole one about David. There's one about like James Franco's
They're
character.
like diary stories almost in a way.
Yeah, they're cool though. I mean, they did the same thing with Blade Runner
That's
a
what they
little
used to
bit.
do. They used to do that for like movies, and they put them on the special features of the
I
movie.
kind of miss when they would do that. Like it was like a
They don't
really
do that shit
specific
anymore.
era, like 2017, where they were doing it for Blade Runner and Alien, and I was like, dude, this is dope as fuck. We should get more of this. Now they don't do anything like that.
Yeah.
I
Now
guess
they're
it's
like,
there was
here's the damn
a
movie.
and they do it with like such lackluster
They don't
energy.
even
They're
put
like,
they don't
if you
even put
want to see it, go
trailers
see it.
on 4Ks
Um,
anymore.
it's because they have to pay for them. Studios
Yeah.
have to pay to put like trailers on movies, and it's like if you go back to like the DVD era, you go
Do you
back
use
and watch a
Sony
DVD, man, there
trailers?
was like 10 trailers before you could
Oh
watch a
yeah.
movie. You couldn't skip any of them. Like
It's
you knew,
I think it stopped 2019 because I put John Wick. I have the regular Blu-ray for that. John Wick 3.
yeah.
Like I put it on Saturday or Sunday. Um, and there was trailers in front of it. They were all like Lionsgate trailers, but
I
like
noticed
I was
that
like,
it's
damn.
Lionsgate. They're pretty good about it. Lionsgate, I
Um,
guess the studios like put the same trailers for their movies like together.
yeah.
And so Lionsgate, I want to say it was like 2019. It's probably like the last year we saw trailers still from for
Yeah, now
Blu-rays.
it's just you put like a 4K in, it just goes right to that generic menu now.
They all look the same. There's not a single 4K
Yeah,
menu that looks
all
different
looking the
now. It's
same.
insane.
Yeah, it sucks. But
But yeah, no, like I mean that's what I mean is that like they used to have special features like that, but I was actually thinking about the Jurassic Park one that I can't remember who did it, but there was like a short like film that they released that had a hold on, I want to say it was a few years ago.
well, even like this 4K for Aliens, like it comes with all of this old special features that they always had, and then they added more.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole
Okay, so
collector's set. Like you can watch like 10 hours of BTS stuff.
it's called Battle at Big Rock and it was directed by Colin Trevorrow. It's 10 minutes long and it's like a short little film that takes place in the I almost said John Wick, Jurassic World
John Wick
universe. And I remember that I
franchise.
watched it and it was pretty good when I came out.
Was that for
Oh,
Jurassic World or
there's also
the
like a
last one?
prologue
Was that for
of
Jurassic World
Jurassic
or
World.
was it for the last one? Because he did Dominion, didn't he?
He did do Dominion, but this short film I believe was before Dominion came out.
Hmm.
I could be wrong though. So it's a short film. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Battle at Big Rock, an all new short film from Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow. You can find it on there, but that's what I was referencing.
Yeah, I don't have the 4K like disc or set in front of me, but um,
I will admit I own the film, but I
I
have not
remember I
watched
looked at
it
the
since it
back
was in
because
theaters.
it has the commentary. I'm talking about the Aliens 4K set that I have
Oh yeah.
now. Like it comes with all the old like collector's edition special features plus all new ones.
I love when you like buy a new version of a movie and it comes with like more special features because it's like
Yeah, that's what this
yes.
has. Yeah, that's the thing with like Criterion too. It's like they'll go all out with their special features. They'll even add a movie into special features.
I mean that's kind of their whole shtick is that they're
Yeah,
again back to their
their special
Laserdisc
features
point. The
sell.
reason that they succeeded with Laserdisc was because of the supplements. Like
Yeah.
they go out of their way to add commentaries when they can. Sometimes it's two or
Hmm.
three, depending on which filmmaker it is. Um, Edgar Wright, a filmmaker that I think is great, and all of his films have like 5 commentary tracks on them. It's
Yeah.
insane.
When Fincher would make non-Netflix movies, all of his stuff had two or three commentaries, at
That's
least
one thing
two.
about the digital age that has just changed, like streaming wise, is that you like there's no way you can watch a version of
I guess
most
what's
Netflix
missing,
films without a commentary.
like
And
if
it
you
makes me wonder
pitch to
because I have some movies
Netflix,
that Netflix has that comment that Criterion put out, and I wonder if they have commentaries on them.
yeah, I'm wondering if The
Hold
Irishman
on.
does, or like I guess whatever ones you own. I don't know what Netflix ones I own. Irishman
Okay.
for sure.
I've got 4 right here. Let's take a look.
I
Let's
haven't
look it up
listened
to
to
the
this one.
light.
I think this commentary is like Cameron. I think Bill Paxton might be in it. It's Cameron and some of the cast, but they're all like individual. They're not like together as a group, I don't think. It's more like individual them watching scenes.
Yeah.
Now, here's the part where they're like above them crawling. Here's your shot of them
Oh
crawling like
yeah.
the above.
That's what I
Dude,
was
like
talking about earlier. Yeah.
that image is terrifying. I'd be like, fuck this. We're getting the hell out of here. There's like 30 of them up there. Is
Okay, so
that the Irishman?
unless I'm just completely missing it, I don't think any of these have commentary tracks.
Damn, Netflix probably said no.
Now that being said, there is a lot of special features for all of these. But I mean, I don't see commentary track anywhere. Let me really be diligent here. Holy shit, this is crazy to me.
I feel like there hasn't been a Netflix Criterion release in a while.
There hasn't been. The last one I can think of, honestly, was Pinocchio.
Yeah. And I guess Apple might be having one. Maybe.
I have heard a few different things about why Apple doesn't do Criterion, and like I hear back and forth. I hear like one day that they're like, "Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon's getting a Criterion," then it's all of a sudden it's
And
actually
it's
no, Apple
not.
doesn't want any of their
Yeah.
stuff on Criterion. They don't want to release any of their stuff on Blu-ray. But then they have that movie that they did with
I have On the
that
Rocks on
Sofia
Blu-ray.
Coppola film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the On the Rocks is what I was thinking of. Severance has a
Damn.
Blu-ray.
R.I.P. Bill Paxton. Bye, my dude.
Game over, man. Game over.
Foreshadowing his character. He's always talking about dying. He's gonna die. Nah, these two, this and Alien, are the on par for me. I think they're both the same, like one and two. You can flip them.
I think in terms of quality, they're both the same. But that being said, I like two a little bit more.
I feel like two has more of a rewatch factor. I think it's due to the amount of action that's in it. Because the first one does take a while to like set
It does
into
take a
what,
minute to set in, yeah.
yeah. But then once you're in, like that whole like last 20 minutes of the first one is fucking amazing. Later, bro.
Dude finally got his comeuppance.
Yep. Karma. Corporate greed.
Heartbreak Raid.
Yeah, listen to the kid that survived for like that many days. I'd be immediately following that
I
kid.
okay, so I also remember there being a scene, and it might be that it just hasn't come up yet in the director's cut, but there's a scene where, if I remember correctly, I want to say it's when Bill Paxton's character is still alive. That's why I'm like thinking this doesn't make any sense that this isn't here. But they set up like a gun outside one of the
Oh, they did.
doors.
I remember it. I remember that
And
scene.
did they cut it, didn't they?
They cut it. They cut it. It wasn't in here.
They
They
set
set
up a
up
gun
the
outside one of the doors with like a
and they
camera, and they're able to
watch.
see
It
like
was
aliens like get close, and they
it was
like shoot them
before
down immediately.
it was right before that scene because it was right before they were approaching because he was watching the monitor. So they did cut
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. So like you see it on the screen too, but they cut the scene
Yeah.
where like it shows the actual like aliens
Because
getting shot at.
I remember them testing. He's like they throw this. He throws like the thing and it oh shoots. He's
Yeah.
like, all right, close this door.
Damn, man. We
Yeah,
really they really took a lot out of
they took a
this.
lot out. Yeah, I remember exactly the thing you're talking about because I
It's like
watched this like
spread
2 days
out.
ago,
I
3 days
originally thought
ago.
it was just the first half, but it really is like a good amount of the movie is just
I mean, it's 20, almost like 30 minutes that are taken out or like added.
2 hours and 35. It's 2 hours and 17 without.
Yeah, so it's like
About
20,
25, almost
25
30
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
The shots of the guy in the alien suit running and him just busting his ass whenever he gets shot is so funny.
Yeah.
Like out of context, it's so funny, but in the like within the context of the movie, it's really good.
The way they have them run too is like pretty. It's a hard, yeah, obviously like that. Like they're just seeing that. I'd be fucking terrified, man. Man, I'd be terrified, man.
The fucking blood on her leg.
I know. But it's like I love that like element of that because you always forget about it. And you're like, oh yeah, if the
Yeah, it's
blood
like
gets
in
on
the
you, you're
moment when
fucking
it's
gonna
happening, you're like, oh
die.
damn, yeah, you fucking
Yeah.
die.
It's like you can still kill the alien, but if the alien explodes in front of you, you're gonna fucking
You're
die.
donezo, yeah.
Yeah.
She just knows everything. She lives there.
They should have listened to her all along. Now they're gonna die.
Dunzo. Yeah, she sacrifices herself to save the kid.
They both do, yeah. Damn. That's a place to be
Damn.
instant death. Come on, dude. You got to be quicker.
No, what the fuck, bro? What are we
Don't
doing?
be, don't be, don't be standing there screaming. At least try and get
At least try to stay in the story.
it.
Maybe just pull her up. Like make that thing go the other way. Grab
Yeah.
her arm. And
She
she's
grabs the
done so.
jacket.
She's
Yeah.
done so, yeah. Oh, you see? Now you got to go down there, Sigourney Weaver.
She just goes, "Hey, remember when I was in Ghostbusters too?"
Is
That
she not in the
scared the
first one?
I don't know. Is she? I don't think she is.
I think she's in the first one. Better find out. We're about to find out, boys.
Yeah, she's in the first one. Is the second one where she gets possessed? She's
I
in
think it's the
both.
first one. Is she in
Whatever,
both?
whatever. Yeah, she's in both. Whenever she gets possessed, like absolutely terrified me. The Ghostbusters 2 used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I'm gonna say something pretty
Because
controversial on
that's
the
when
pod. I've
Rick
never
Moranis.
loved the Ghostbusters movie.
I feel like you had to watch them as a kid if you
I did
didn't
though.
watch.
I did. Actually, okay, I'll say this. I think the first one's pretty okay. Like I think it's pretty good. It's good. I don't think it's
No, this
great. I think
the
it's one of
I
those
will say
things.
the second one I because I have that 1 and 2 like digipack. The second one is
Yeah.
not very good. Like when I watch this rewatch the second one, I'm like, I don't remember. This movie's not very good.
I
Like,
remember the first one being pretty good. The second one's a pretty rough watch. And then there's the remake is the third one, I think.
was it Afterlife, and then they just had the newest
2016.
one. Yeah, and then yeah, it's
That one's pretty rough. That is a bad movie. And
the
then the one that
newest
came
one, the one with
out, was
the
it
Frozen
Afterlife?
one. The Frozen, well, the one that was most recent was pretty
Frozen
rough.
Empire.
Yeah, and then they try to essentially like make a legacy sequel with Afterlife. They had like a Force Ghost with what's his Harold Ramis, basically.
Yeah, I didn't. You see, those were
It
ones
was
I
yeah.
also again watched them and I was like, I don't love them. It was
No,
not
I actually
terrible, but
I
not
know a lot of.
great.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That shot, one of the most
Yeah, that's
iconic things you'll ever see.
yeah, that's fucking terrifying. I know a lot of people that don't like Ghostbusters and also don't like the Goonies.
See, I like the Goonies, and at the same time, it's one of those things where I do still
He
think
used
it's a
to.
little. I was too old to have enjoyed it fully.
I'm telling you, man, watching movie theaters in the '80s were probably fucking amazing. All the horror too, in general. We gotta go. The Terminator's coming. Bro, imagine if they open the elevator here and Arnold walks out.
Fucking Arnold walks out with a
Damn.
shotgun.
Damn. Shoots the alien right in the head. Dude, someone's gonna make a fucking AI movie like that. Ugh.
I guarantee we'll see
In
it
like
soon.
20 years, in like 20 years, like that'll just be this scene, but then Arnold comes out.
I don't even think it's 20 years away. That could honestly be online within like a
Yeah.
year.
But will it look good is the
Oh
question.
yeah, making it look good is a whole different story.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because I watched Romulus before, obviously this too. Like it is kind of jarring because it's like it's just a different, better cameras. Like it just looks different. And then
Better cameras, but
trying to make like old technology in a newer era.
it's like the same thing with like Star Wars, where like you have Rogue One and
Star Wars, I'll watch like
Solo.
OG trilogy first, and then I'll watch the other
Yeah,
ones.
but that's what I mean though. You go back and watch Star Wars, and like the whole idea is that like it takes place between
Yeah.
what is it, New Hope and Empire, and
Yeah,
then
I
or
was
it
something
takes place
anyone that has
before New
never
Hope. I'm
seen Star
sorry.
Wars. Yeah.
So it takes place
It was
between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and the whole idea is that like it's supposed to take place right before A New Hope. All the technology
yeah.
looks more advanced. It like looks cleaner, and like by
Yeah.
no means is it like a bad story. Like I think Rogue One's a pretty good movie to be honest with you, but it's just one of those things where it's just like these characters just were not in that movie, and you can't
Yeah.
sit here and pretend like we see any of that in A New Hope. You're adding shit that's
No,
just
I see
not
what you're
there.
saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. As in, like, it can be pretty jarring for like if you're watching it for the first time in like
I
chronological
honestly
order.
just prefer to watch something in like the progression of like the year that it was made is all it is.
Yeah.
You go
Because you're
back
right
and
though,
watch some of the MCU stuff
they're
too, and
adding to
it's
the
like
story.
The MC, yeah, that's what I mean. It feels like a progression of like you're adding things to the story, and yes, technically it feels like technically it's supposed to take place before, but you're still adding stuff. And so it feels
Yeah.
like a progression of technology as well as these characters and the
Hmm.
world that it's in.
Yeah, he like docks it here, but then I think she thinks he like flies away, but he's like, no, basically the place was blowing up, so I couldn't like sit on here anymore. That's what I liked about this when I was rewatching it. I was like, oh yeah, they make like the android like not evil. But I guess what's his face in Romulus really isn't. Kind of, but he's like more logical.
Ian Holmes character, or are you talking about what's his name, David?
Yeah, not like in Romulus, not Ian Holmes'
Yeah,
character.
he has this like sense of like he's
Andy.
not evil,
Andy's
but
because
he is working against them actively, but it's more in the
yeah.
sense of like you're working for the company, and we get that.
Yeah, because Andy's like he's more logical. He's not like oh I want to kill like David's like I'm gonna kill you, but like just like I'm gonna
I'm
kill
gonna
you.
kill you, not out
And
of spite.
Andy's more just like oh she wasn't gonna survive anyway, so I'd rather just us
Have
like
you
we're
seen
gonna
this thing
survive.
about this shot with her in the elevator that's it's rear projection, I think. This right here of her like in there.
Hmm.
This is all a rear projection shot, I think I read somewhere.
Yeah, I'm curious to dive into the special features on these
I've
on
spent some
this
time
one.
looking at them and they are pretty fun to watch. I
It's
mean, I
good
know
like
that the 4K
background
has
too.
more, but yeah.
And I think that 4K disc, all the special features are on that disc. You know how sometimes it's like only they only put the movie on the 4K, everything else goes on the Blu-ray.
It pisses me off that they do that now because all you're doing is limiting how much. I mean, I guess this one probably doesn't look too bad, but you're limiting how much information you can put on the disc, especially when it comes to the movie.
Mm.
So, like for example, like Dune Part Two, that was one that had the special features on the disc, and it pissed me off. I was like, why is this on here? Put it on the
I mean,
Blu-ray, man.
Sinners is getting that the aspect ratio changed, so I'm curious. That'll probably just be its own, and then the other disc will have the special features.
Yeah,
That comes out in what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I think
First week of
July
July.
something.
First week of July, yeah.
Is it July 3rd? No, it's July 7th or 8th, I
Yeah,
think.
whatever that first Tuesday is.
I mean, I haven't pre-ordered that steelbook.
I was like, damn, during the Criterion sale, you guys think I made a money?
What do you think? I made of money?
No, that'll probably be the only. I usually reserve July for just Criterion stuff, and then I'll wait till like till their stuff goes on sale. But I'll probably pick. I'm definitely gonna pick up Sinners though.
I got it pre-ordered already, so that money's out of my account already. I'm not worried about
I'm waiting
that.
for fucking. I ordered Bottoms so long ago, and it still hasn't come to
Dude,
me.
I got so lucky. I found bottoms at that store in Oklahoma when I was
Speaking
there.
of, let me see. Want to see? It still says it's. Let me see. Well, if we're watching Alien and talking about Bottoms, it says July 11th
Bottoms.
through 18th. So
What? It's like the it's like so like back ordered right now.
yeah, but it still says I'm getting it. But then look, I can cancel it and it'll say I can get free delivery tomorrow. So it's like I just happened the pre-order that I did just is taking so fucking
Don't
long.
cancel it. Don't
No, I'm
cancel
not
it,
gonna
but order
cancel
the
it.
other one and see which one arrives first, and then just cancel the one that you don't get.
No, if it's available for tomorrow, that means I'll definitely get it. It just depends on it could literally tomorrow it could say out for delivery because it'll be 11th, which is fine. I had a feeling that one might go out of stock because it's kind of pretty popular on like film Twitter, so that's why I kind of wanted to grab it, and it was only $15. So not a bad deal. When I was watching because you saw Ballerina, right?
I did. I did. And
And
I remember
um
the reason that we're recording today is because I wanted you to catch up on John Wick so you can watch
I've
Ballerina
seen
happily.
but when I was watching Ballerina and then she was doing the flame stuff, I was like, oh, this is like aliens. She just kept like
You
blowing her
know,
stuff
it's interesting, and I'm not gonna get into it
because I
too
had
much
just
right now,
literally
but
watched it
we
the day
both
before.
did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. If I were to rank them all, it's definitely at the bottom. But like, it's it was solid.
It's
The first
fun.
half
It
is
has its
pretty
moments.
clunky. Yeah.
I think the
But
big thing for me with
once it gets settled into like when she goes to that town, I'm like, okay, this is good stuff. But like other than that, it's kind of all over the place a little bit, but I thought it was solid.
my problem with the that movie, and it's not anything really specifically about the film itself, is part of it is the structure, but also
I mean,
um
they hit a shit ton of reshoots from what I understand.
yeah, so like Lance Reddick was in it, and I was like, how the fuck is he here? Did they CG him? And it's like, no, he shot all
No.
the footage when they shot John Wick Chapter 4
Yeah.
and then just sat on it for years.
Yeah.
But my thing with that movie is really the biggest part is that you're watching this and it feels like you're watching a lot of like heavily CG'd moments, whereas what makes the John Wick franchise so good to me is that you could tell it's not CG.
Hmm.
And so a lot of those moments are still there, but it's like, okay, so you
Well, it's
still
even
did
like
the thing, but
this.
you did not do it to the same extent in the
Yeah.
same way.
Well, it's like watching this too. It's like this is like practical, like what they're fucking doing here. Like,
Yeah. You go back and watch
and
like Romulus, and it's
and
like,
you watch
yeah, you're gonna
Romulus,
make
it's
some
like
practical effects,
practical.
but
It's like a lot of it's CG, and it's just like you just watch this, and you're like, this just like feels better. I like. I mean, I
there's
like
like
Romulus
effort
minus
behind it. There
the
was someone who
being
made
old.
this shit, man.
Yeah, there's someone smoking a cig during cuts in his alien xenomorph outfit. He's like, fucking day, man.
You don't see people coming out of a cryo tube in the new ones with smoking like immediately reaching for a cigar,
Yeah.
and it's like that's just that's not alien to me.
There you go. Take the noise away. Oh shit. So when you look down, you're like, oh
I
fuck.
love that this is like the poster too.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me though is that like you used to have moments like this in movies where you would just see an image and they were like, "That's the poster. That
Yeah.
is the poster, and that's what we're
I
gonna
think I
use." And
switched
you
on
go look to
Letterbox. I
IMDb,
switched it. Yeah. I
and that's
switched
the
the
poster
Letterbox
for
poster to
it. And
this.
like now it's like you got to have 1,000 floating heads. You got to have people's
Mm.
names everywhere. You got to put studios' names everywhere. Like everyone has to feel happy about the fact that they worked on something. And it's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
dude, you're in this movie. Does it matter how good the poster looks?
I switched the Letterbox poster back to the OG one, but it has like the all the writing at the bottom rated R. It's like I love when I for like for Letterbox, I'll switch a lot of the posters to the OG posters.
I will
It's like they
always
just
put the
fucking look
posters that
cool.
have the credits in them. I
Yeah,
hate
because they look
posters that
fucking
take away
cool.
all the stuff. Like it makes it look off.
So I think I did that for Alien. I put the OG poster because like that's an
This
iconic
fucking
film
thing, dude.
poster. Like, bro,
I
you're getting
swear,
like,
Letterbox chooses the ugliest posters as their default
oh, they
posters that
do
they make.
because they want you to pay for the Patreon. That's why. I'd be like, bro, your teeth, they're see through. I love it like this. And the mom just goes like, no. And then the aliens like back off.
I
Look,
think
mother
what's really
daughter,
great about
mother
this shot too
daughter.
is that like you have that shot of Sigourney Weaver where she's just like standing there, but like the you can see like the flame.
Yeah,
It's
just
almost
being
like you
like,
can see like gas.
yeah.
It's like distorting the image a little bit.
But I think this scene's good too because it shows like, oh, these. It's not like these aliens are like, oh, I'm gonna kill. It's like they can actually communicate with each other and be like, they're smart.
It's subtle, but it works.
Yeah, being like, there's nothing being said right now, and the alien is like to the side, and the other aliens just back off. Here's your Reebok product placement.
Hmm.
Reebok still around in 21, 22. Like,
They were remember those shoes were selling for like Alien Romulus? They were like selling out like
oh
crazy.
yeah. Didn't Baja have them? Or did you give them to Baja? Baja had them, I think. I think she sold them. Did she
I
sell them to
think
you?
no, she did. No, she had him in the group chat and she was saying like if any I think she posted them on Twitter and I messaged her directly and I was like, "Yo, like these are fire. Like I kind of want to get them." And then she was telling me what size they were and I was like, "Damn it, like
Yeah.
just a
I think
hair
someone
too
got
big."
them for
And
her or something, yeah. Those would be sick though to have. We need to bring back machine guns in movies that just show the number of bullets you have left on the side. 12,
It's like
11.
Halo, yeah.
Yeah. Have you played? I actually got it on PS5, just a digital copy of it. That Alien is an isolation game.
I haven't played it at all.
I think I got it for $10. Like it was on sale. I still haven't played it.
I know a lot of
Uh,
people were talking about that game
because I think it
and
got like not a
Romulus coming
good.
out. They
I
were
think
saying that
yeah,
like there was a lot of references from the game in the movie. Like
because
there's
I
like
think
spots in the game where you can like save stuff and it's in the movie. Like everywhere
yeah, I
apparently.
think in the game, like the alien, if you're like good at the game, the alien will adapt to your like skill level and become smarter. And
Damn.
like
You see, I would just
I
play like
haven't played it
shit.
yet. I'd be like, dude, this I'm like, this is terrifying. Like walking around waiting for a xenomorph to just appear. Like I'd be like going so slow. Like
I
that'd
put
be
like headphones
absolutely
on, play in the middle of
terrifying.
the night.
Just scream, ah! Shit, shit, shit.
Just yell.
That's what I do. I go, oh shit, shit. Then I just sprint away yelling, shit, 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 shit. It's basically kind of like the end of the first Alien, where it's like you're just running around by yourself, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I mean,
Obviously, we're watching
funny
this one
enough,
and Alien back to back. They kind of have the same exact ending, where it's like they
they
get on the
do. They
ship,
really are the
get on the
same
ship,
movie.
yeah, and then
You're
the other
you're all you're
alien's
really
still
doing
there,
is
yeah,
and then she
and then
does
she
blast him
shoots
out of
them
that
both out,
thing.
blows slash, and then Romulus does the same thing,
They'll have the same exact structure.
yeah. But that's what you want though. It's like you're waiting for the alien to come back.
I mean, that's like horror in general. Like you have the slasher genre where like everybody thinks that they're safe one last time, and then all of a sudden, like,
Yeah,
nope, we got one last person to kill, or there's like one last
yeah.
final threat that they thought was dead and is not. It's just sci-fi is a whole different ballgame, so it feels different.
Hmm. Dude, that's wild that she was nominated for Best Actress for this. I did not know that. That's fucking sick though that she was.
I think it's cool knowing that she got the credit for it. Because like, can you imagine Kaylee
Yeah.
Spaney getting a nomination now? Like, it would never happen.
No, there's absolutely no way. The most the Academy would do be like, we'll give you a VFX nom and please go away now. That's basically what they would say. And they did that. Here's a VFX nom, now go away.
I'm looking to see what the nominations were that year before we finish this episode, just so we can guess.
86?
Okay,
This
okay,
is
I found it.
86?
87
Was
because it
that
came out in
87?
86.
So it's
So we
86
got
movies for 87.
he was up
Is that
against four of the people. She did
out
not
of
win.
Africa win? Is that out of
Um
Africa year?
no, it wasn't. Kathleen Turner for Peggy Sue Got Married is another nom. Sissy Spacek for Crimes of the Heart. Jane Fonda for The Morning After. And the winner was Marlee Matlin for Children of a Lesser God.
Damn. I don't even think I've seen Children of a Lesser God. Well, one best picture that year. 86.
Platoon. Or it was actually for
Mm.
87, but it was from the year
86 movies,
86.
yeah. 86
Yeah.
movies and the
So
ceremony is
it's one of
always
those
that
things
next
where you
year.
kind of gotta like specify every time. Like it
I
won
always
this year,
say
but it was
like,
actually for this
yeah,
year.
I always say like that. Yeah, it's like 80. Well, one best picture in 1986. It's like, no, for that year, not. The ceremony was in 87, is basically what I'm implying. Um, yeah, Platoon. Same kind of like, yeah, military Vietnam. There you go.
Yeah, it's another movie about Vietnam. We were just comparing it to that.
And then you had Full Metal Jacket the very next year. I figured out how to use the elevator. Mom says that. I figured out how to use the elevator.
Just casually is like, my bad, wrong
Yeah.
floor.
Yo, shit. I thought you were down there, Bobby.
There's that score again we were talking about.
Yeah. Very Terminator. Yeah. What'd you say they were
It's like
doing? Like
just
banging,
metal
like
banging.
banging metal.
It sounds like the kind of thing you'd hear in like almost like a dark like I guess you could say like noir, like maybe not even noir, but just like industrial type movie.
It's like Terminator
Like
2
maybe
or
Mad Max
Terminator.
even.
Yeah. It sounds like Terminator 2, like when like down, down. like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to watch The Abyss again. I haven't seen that shit in a long time.
I don't know. I want to rewatch it again before we record, and I'm excited to rewatch it because
And True Lies. I haven't seen those movies I have the 4Ks. I still haven't watched them. That's my
I'm gonna have
problem. I still
to
just have
I'm
a
gonna have
giant
to.
stack.
I mean, hey man, the way I see it is like if you don't buy them whenever you can, like you really kind of miss out is the problem.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Because I mean, at the time, like they all immediately sold out immediately. All three of this
It's getting worse now,
Abyss.
where like
Yeah.
something drops immediately, and then like a
That's what I
a
was worried
week
about for
later, it's completely
bottoms.
sold out.
That's what I was worried about for bottoms. I was like, feel like this might sell out.
You're never sure now. It sucks. I mean, it's this weird landscape that we're in, where it really is just a matter of
Like
like,
the Kingdom of Heaven director's cut 4K
yeah,
sold
now it's
out.
impossible to get it. That's what I mean.
And I think
And
they
I remember
I have the
having it in my cart
Tombstone.
and thinking like I should buy it, and then I just didn't.
I had it in my cart and I was like, I cannot justify paying $75 for this.
The Tombstone
They put
4K
it,
restocked.
yeah, so they restocked it. That's why I was like, maybe they'll restock Kingdom of Heaven. Same, I think it's no, it's Fox though. But yeah, they
Are you getting that
restocked.
Tombstone 4K?
I haven't. I saw it in Amoeba.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember now. You sent us a picture of it. And I was like, God damn it.
The case is like crushed, but I didn't care. I was like, I just want the disc. I don't really care. Like, because that's a good 4K transfer. Because I was looking at there's this one YouTube. I'm gonna send you this YouTube channel. The guy like he'll put like a Blu-ray, and then I'll put like say the Blu-ray came 2016, and he has like the OG Blu-ray, and then I'll put the 4K like in it, and you can see all he has like the grading, like the basically like the data coming in. He'll show you that. I'm like, okay. And that's when he did the aliens one. That's like I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, this looks good. Like, come on,
Who
guys.
is it? I might know who it is.
Oh shit, here's where he gets fucking ripped in half. This is pretty violent android.
Yeah,
The channel. I follow a couple of them.
I do too.
Let's see. I was looking at it yesterday. My comparisons. I think that's what it is.
Yo, he ripped
No,
his ass apart.
it's not my comparisons.
It's all good. We'll talk about it after.
It's Spike William. He only has 570 subscribers, so you probably don't follow him. But he does comparisons. I'll send you this channel. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like some people just get. I think they've just gotten so like cocky's not the word. It's just like they just get too. This doesn't look that good. It's like, dude, it
Like you're
clearly
splitting hairs
looks.
at a certain point.
Yeah, it gets to the point where you're just complaining to complain. I mean, the audio is always better. Like, let's be honest,
The audio is
guys.
always a significant step
Yeah,
up. It's always a big difference.
always a big difference. I'm waiting for that Disturbia 4K in 2027 because my Blu-ray no
If
longer
you don't
works
clean as
because
hell.
it was printed in that factory. My Blu-ray no longer works. I got a DVD
I
of
wonder
it.
if mine still works. I want to try it.
It stops halfway through mine, but the
Nah, there's no
DVD
fucking way. I'm gonna try
I
it.
had I got the DVD for $1, and the DVD didn't look bad. I mean, my TV's upscaling, the player's gonna upscale, but it didn't look bad. I'll take the
I
DVD for a
love how
dollar
this
for a bit.
that freaking alien just picks it up.
Yeah,
He's like
there you
so
fucking
aware how
are.
this shit works.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I figured out how to work an elevator. Think I can't pick up this thing? Come on, Newt. Stop screaming. Here we go. Get away from her, you bitch.
I
Look at
love
that
that like
light.
little reveal.
The backlight. Iconic. Is your theater groan when he said it in Romulus?
Yeah. If you wanted
Mine
the
did
truth,
too.
I groaned. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and I think that got everyone else to do it too.
Yeah. I had a feeling it was coming. I didn't groan, but like the guy behind me was like not enjoying Romulus at all.
I was enjoying it up to a certain point, and then I will say that like whenever he said it, like I don't think I groaned
I
loud
do like
enough, but I do
Romulus.
think some people were like laughing at it. They were like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah. I mean, I do like Romulus a lot.
I enjoyed it.
There's
It
parts
does piss
that
me off a
just
little
don't
bit.
The Ian Holm part like really does piss me
You
off.
know, I talked to someone who didn't even realize that Ian Holm was CG.
Really.
Yeah.
They had the
Because
Prometheus
they
theme
were like
playing it
talking to
though.
me about it. They were like, "Why didn't you like it?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I think CG and Home kind of turned me off." And they're like, "Who are you talking about?" And I'm like, "You know, the guy that they're talking to, the droid." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah,
guy's
fucking
dead." And
Bilbo
they're like, "Oh,
Baggins.
really? He's dead?" And I was like, "Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You couldn't tell that guy was CG?"
They were talking to Bilbo Baggins. It should have just been David.
Honestly, yeah. That would have just been like the end of the David trilogy. They could have just done that.
Yeah. I just have Fossbender there. And he could have been like a discontinued android, but that ship was still using him to show that David was still like psycho and wanted to create a colony, basically.
Yeah. If anything, I mean, it could have been the same David. It would have lined up perfectly.
Yeah. Because they mentioned the Prometheus in that movie, so it's like,
Yeah. It makes me think that genuinely, like, I think it's one of those things where like audiences just did not love Prometheus or Covenant enough for the studio to be like, yeah, we're gonna make this
yeah.
where people think this is a third trilogy or the third movie.
Hmm. I think people have come around on Prometheus, not Covenant as much.
I think they're both pretty strong films.
I
Covenant's
mean,
got some messy
I love
stuff, but
Prometheus.
they're both
I
pretty
love
solid.
Prometheus. I'm gonna shoot you out the airlock like I did your other fucking cousin. Yeah, because yeah, a lot of Romulus basically does the same thing. Shoots the airlock out. I guess
I
that's
mean,
the
whenever I
easiest
was
way to
watching
get rid of
Romulus,
the
I like knew
alien.
exactly how it was gonna go too.
Because that's the easiest way to get rid of an alien. Shoot it into space. That's a big ass alien too.
Big boy, it's the mama.
Oh no.
There's
Oh
that
yeah,
score again.
yeah. Yeah, he's like saves her here. He's a good android. He's not trying to take over the world. Yeah, I mean technically you they use the same little machine in a Avatar, so you could say that this is part of the Avatar universe.
You're talking about like that big old machine that she was just manning?
It's like the same
Yeah.
exact thing.
They use like a different, I mean, it's the same concept. It's like more
Yeah.
advanced and like the machines are a little bit more tactile and like it's a little bit more like flexible. And this was the 80s, so like I get it. Like you were a little bit more limited on what you could do, but like the idea is still there.
It's the 80s, man.
I'm surprised they haven't introduced like androids in Avatar yet. I think maybe that's just too much. Like he's like, we can do blue people and we
Yeah.
can do shitty people who just hunt whales. But robots, it's where we cross the line.
Yeah, then they all just die in Alien 3. Spoiler.
Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen Alien 3, they all fucking die.
Immediately die. The movie starts with them immediately all dying.
Except
Yeah,
for Ripley.
for
So
me, this is where the franchise kind of ends for me.
the only one that I really don't watch that much or consider like canon is Resurrection. Even though
Resurrection.
there's
Yeah.
some good stuff in Resurrection, it's just kind of
I mean, I
messy.
like because I have that set, so it's like I'll have them, but like I could technically just get rid of that set, but I kind of would have owned all Fincher stuff, so it's kind of like, even though Fincher
Alien
hates
3
that
is
movie.
messy, but I do have things that I appreciate about it. Also, there's someone
I mean,
online that has a
even for like Resurrection, like I like Winona Ryder in Resurrection.
there's someone that has an it's like I think I saw it online, but there's like an edited cut of Alien 3 that's in 4K. And it's making the rounds online. I think people are liking it, to be honest with you.
And that's it.
That's how we end. Damn, these movies really just come to an end, don't they?
Dude, that credit was rolling, not even faded into black yet. They're like,
All right, guys,
fucking
that's
end
the
this
episode.
thing.
We'll
We're
see
not
you for
doing
the
any
abyss.
intro.